New league year begins March 14. Willie Young will also be released. Fighting Illini lost to Iowa in the first round of the Big Ten basketball tournament at New York's Madison Square Garden, 96-87. Meantime, Northwestern plays Penn State tonight in a second-round matchup. Elsewhere in college hoops, it was Notre Dame knocking off Pittsburgh. Eastern Illinois took down Tennessee State in the Ohio Valley Conference tournament. Northern Illinois hosting Ball State in the MAC regular season finale tomorrow. And the Missouri Valley Conference tournament gets underway with first-round action at the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis tonight. The Blackhawks are also in action in San Jose, skating against the Sharks. The News is a service of TrueCar. Looking to buy a new car? Online shopping can be confusing. Not anymore. With a true price from TrueCar. Now you can know the exact price you'll pay for the car you want and see what other people paid for it too. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. A check of traffic and weather is on the way next on AM 560.
She ran Al Gore's presidential campaign. She served as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's considered one of the most influential Democrats in the country. And on Thursday, March 22nd, Donna Brazile will go head-to-head with AM 560's Dan Proft. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazile. They'll discuss, dissect, and debate the big issues dividing our country. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by AM Woodland Outdoor Design.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with zero or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
You wouldn't put a square peg in a round hole, so why would you deploy a traditional firewall in a modern decentralized network? Firewalls have new requirements for businesses leveraging SaaS-based applications and public cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. We're in the cloud generation now, so your firewalls have to be engineered to fit right in. Reclaim your cloud network. Try a Barracuda Cloud Generation Network or application firewall free at barracuda.com/firewalls.
So by now you've heard about Calitrin. It's a wonderful weight loss supplement. It helps you feel energized, creates lean muscles, helps me sleep better at night. I had somebody stop me, though, yesterday and say, hey, Amy, what is in Calitrin? And for the answer to that question, let's welcome back Elizabeth.
Good morning. Yes, thank you for having me. People ask us all the time because it's drug-free, stimulant-free. I think everybody's used to those other diet products that have the drugs and stimulants in them. So what exactly is Calitrin, right? It is an all-natural, specially formulated collagen protein supplement. So it works to rebuild muscle tissue. That's what revs up your metabolism naturally. It's definitely not a quick fix. This is not lose 10 pounds in 10 days, but you are going to see results, and you're going to keep them off for good because you're doing it the way your body wants to.
Thanks so much, Elizabeth. And for more information and to order Calitrin,
go to toploss.com. That's TOPLOSS.com, or call us toll-free at 1-833-TOP-LOSS. Again, that's 833-TOP-LOSS. Don't forget to use promo code Amy to save 10% on your order today.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Selling your home, get ready with Mike McKeddy. 708-945-2121. 708-945-2121.
Ready to sell your real estate? Call me, Mike McCaddy, at Century 21 Affiliated. With over $1 billion in closed sales since 1999, I have a proven marketing plan that works. Clients like my straightforward, no-nonsense approach in positioning properties to sell. I offer accurate evaluations, saving you time, money, and unnecessary stress. Together, with my skilled team of associates and over 25 local Chicagoland offices, we help guide you through the process and get you sold. Call today, 708-945-2121. I look forward to earning your business and selling your home.
Selling your home, get ready with Mike McCaddy. 708-945-2121. 708-945-2121.
12 after the hour. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center and say good morning to Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Mike. This rain is not going to help the flooding situation near the Kankakee River in Lowell. 41 is still down to one lane in both directions north of State Road 10. We don't have any new closures at this time. Overnight work has cleared downtown Chicago. The ramps from the inbound Kennedy to the outbound Eisenhower and from the inbound Ike to the outbound Kennedy have reopened. There is still a ramp closure in the south side. The on-ramp from the Ryan, from 87th to the outbound Ryan, that's closed till 6 a.m., and there's road work again this morning in that area. South side, 35th and Ash, report of a person hit by a car. Allow extra following distance with the rain. Traffic service to Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. Right now, get up to $10 off if you buy TurboTax. Ends 3/3/18. Less tax stress equals more tax success. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, breezy and cool with periods of rain mixing with snow, high 42. Becoming partly cloudy tonight, low 30. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high 44. And a clear night tomorrow night with a low 28. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
39 at O'Hare, 37 along the lakefront, 41 at Midway. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the greatest financial crime in history. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and
slippery right into work, huh?
Yeah.
Did you hydroplane at all?
No.
You didn't see me at the side of the road.
Oh, did you have an incident?
Yeah, I had an incident. I hydroplaned for it felt like forever, and then I veered into the right lane. Thank God nobody was there, and then I was on the shoulder of the road while I composed myself to carry on with my day.
This was on the Kennedy?
Yeah, up on Kennedy, near the Allstate Arena, which
All right.
I just called the Rosemont Horizon.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
So be careful out there.
What did I see there?
I saw Genesis there.
Well, so that was
Phil
the
Collins.
70s.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What concerts did you see there?
I saw REM.
I
saw REM
nice.
there. I think that was, yeah.
Was that your only concert there?
Memories like the corners of my... was that my only concert at Rosemont Horizon? Yeah, I don't do a lot of concerts. I like sports.
It's more of an Alpine Valley.
Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah. Party
Well,
animal.
and then I saw the Bee Gees at
Right.
Aragon Ballroom. No,
you dated Barry Gibb for a time, didn't you?
Exactly. I didn't want to tell you about Barry Gibb.
Mm-hmm.
No, what was the name of the place in Hoffman Estates? Come on.
Poplar Creek?
Poplar Creek. Yes, that's where I saw the Gibbs. Barry Gibb. And
Boy,
Robin and Andy Gibb.
I hope people are finding Amy's walk down memory lane. It's too bad this is your life isn't
died.
still on.
Yeah, and then it went away.
So with respect to your incident on the Kennedy, so people out there listening, driving on the Kennedy, if you're in a 1984 Dodge Caravan, you're going to want to be careful out there. They have a tendency to hydroplane.
With those Barbie doll wheels.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
come on.
All right. Well, President Trump has done it again. He
That was Tuesday, Trump. Today's Wednesday. We might get a different Trump.
Well, I mean, he's done it again in terms of having a public roundtable discussion on an issue.
Yes.
If you thought DACA was a one-off, apparently he thought the ratings were so good. First with DACA, now with guns yesterday. And it was interesting, again, the give and take, the president. It is sort of a fun thing to watch because, of course, everybody knows they're on camera, but Trump is the only one really make a citizen's arrest because you're unfit for the office, which they would be happy to say on State of the Union or Face the Nation. So I just love how behaved they are on camera with the President of the United States. And Trump was pretty behaved, too, but he said some things that that certainly put him at odds with conservative members of Congress.
And with the NRA. Too.
And with the NRA, which when I say the NRA, I think 5 million Americans. When the D.C. press corps says the media, they think terrorist organizations. So that's the difference. Trump on age requirements, raising the age requirement from 18 to 21 for a rifle.
Whatever you want to do. We have a case right now where somebody can buy a handgun at 21. Now, this is not a popular thing to say in terms of the NRA, but I'm saying it anyway. I'm going to just have to say it. But you can't buy, I mean, think of it. You can buy a handgun. You can't buy one. You have to wait till you're 21. But you can buy the kind of weapon used in the school shooting at 18. I think it's something you have to think about.
Would you sign that?
So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give it a lot of consideration, and I'm the one bringing it up, and a lot of people don't even want to bring it up because they're afraid to bring it up. But you can't buy a handgun at 18, 19, or 20. You have to wait till you're 21, but you can buy the gun, the weapon used in this horrible shooting at 18. You are going to decide. The people in this room pretty much are going to decide. But I would give very serious thought to it. I can say that the NRA is opposed to it. And I'm a fan of the NRA. I mean, there's no bigger fan. I'm a big fan of the NRA. They want to do right. These are great people. These are great patriots. They love our country. But that doesn't mean we have to agree on everything. It doesn't make sense that I have to wait till I'm 21 to get a handgun, but I can get this weapon at 18. I don't know.
Do you agree with the President of the United States? Or if you didn't before, do you now because the President is saying it? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
And he also told him, too, don't be so afraid of the NRA people.
I had lunch with the NRA on Sunday. I called them. I said, you got to come over. I said, fellas, we got to do something. And they do have great power. I agree with that. They have great power over you people. They have less power over me. I don't need it. What do I need? But I tell you, they are well-meaning. And I said to them very nice, I said, fellas, we got to do something. We can't keep restricting, and we have to do what's right. When it comes to mental health and other issues, I said, we have to do what's right. And I'm telling you, I think they're there. I think they're there. Some of you people are petrified of the NRA. You can't be petrified. They want to do what's right, and they're going to do what's right. I really believe that.
You know, that's the rap of the left that he was offering. Oh, you're petrified of the NRA. If I was in that meeting, and I would have said this, Mr. President, consider this thought, that actually I'm not afraid of the NRA. I share the viewpoint of the NRA on right of self-protection. I share the logic of the NRA, maybe not 100% across the board, but generally speaking, when it comes to particular policy proposals that favor the government over the law-abiding citizen. So it has nothing to do with petrified. It has nothing to do with their money. It has to do with we are coming from the same philosophical place. Therefore, we're likely to land on the same policy position. Would you ever consider that, Mr. President? Because I don't appreciate you suggesting that if you agree with the NRA, you're somehow beholden, you're being buffaloed, you're being intimidated to agreement with the NRA, because that's not true. But there wasn't that kind of courage on display at that meeting. Although there were, including Steve Scalise, members of Congress who did advance the notion of concealed carry reciprocity across states. And they made the arguments that concealed carry makes society safer, that an armed society in the 21st century in particular is a civil society. And so I congratulate them for making the case into a hostile audience. Mike in Chicago.
Yeah, I disagree with the president on a slightly different premise. If age 21, why not 25 or 50 or 75? At what point do people become mature enough? Obviously, as a country, we thought maturity came at age 18. So what's happened? And I would throw this out. The other day, you mentioned somebody had a story that 12 out of 13 were fatherless. But when you look at the Vegas shooter, there's something even more in common, which is the atheistic society we're in. And lo and behold, his brother, when people said, well, why is this guy doing this, said, oh, gee, I don't know, he's normal, and gave a litany list of things he blew money on. And, you know, that's the character of the people we're raising. And, hey, how likely is it that the place, schools that get God out of it, is the place we're having problems? I don't think any of these gun bills are going to help us. It's not the root cause.
Thanks for the call, Mike. 26 out of 27 fatherless, according to Suzanne Vanker's column the other day, and she'll be on our show, top of the 8 o'clock hour. There's this, too. This is from Vox.com, liberal, pro-gun control, Vox.com. Raising the age limit on the AR-15 from 18 to 21 would do depressingly little. 11 mass shootings have been committed by men 21 and younger. Two of the 11, were committed using an assault rifle. Only one of those rifles was purchased legally. The semi-automatic rifle was used in 11 of 156 mass shootings, generally, regardless of age, 7%. So 154 or 156 mass shootings had nothing to do with an assault rifle. Meanwhile, if you'll recall Sutherland Springs, that mass shooting, one of the heroes of Sutherland Springs, you remember him, Stephen Williford? What did he use to confront the shooter?
Didn't he use a handgun?
AR-15.
Oh, he used an AR-15.
Tony on the south side.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. Here we go again with the gun debate. You know, guns forged this country, first of all, so let's stop picking on the guns. Anyway, I can see where Trump's coming from with the 18 and 21 difference, right? It doesn't make sense because that's the way our legislators pass laws. They're inconsistent. However, I do not like our government legislating when people become an adult. So in other words, I want my youth to become adults, or youths to become an adult quicker, so they can become members of society. So don't, 26 on your parents' health plan, 21 to drink, 18 to fight in a war. Then you got 18 to smoke. Some now are 21.
Yeah, what is it,
so
right?
The whole point is keep the government out of legislating when somebody's an adult. Keep that 18, get these kids out of their mom's basement, and maybe they'll be more functional in society later on. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the call. It's a good point about the different ages for, what constitutes an adult or implicitly constitutes adult. Rich Lowry, we talked to yesterday, had a good point, too. I hadn't quite considered this way, but he said, look, let's remember, only a third of 18-year-olds go on to take a 4-year federally subsidized vacation at the University of Iowa. So two-thirds go into the workforce. So they're not adults? Bruno in Naperville. Hey, Bruno. Bruno in Naperville.
Crazy about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, I'm not crazy about the 21-year-old age limit. I kind of share my opinions with the guy who just called before me. However, my really big bugaboos in the gun control debate are restrictions on the types of guns that people can own, which this doesn't do, and some sort of a national gun registry, which this doesn't do. I would almost be willing to accept that, but in exchange for something else that expands gun owner rights, like interstate reciprocity for concealed carry,
right?
Or
right.
Those sorts of things.
Thanks, Bruno. Appreciate it.
I love President Trump's idea. I've been saying that all along.
Well, I know you do.
Raise the purchasing age to 21.
Tom in Deer Park.
You're more mature.
Tom in Deer Park.
Hello. Good morning. No surprises here from Donald Trump. He spent the 30-plus years of his public life basically lying every day, stabbing people in the back every day, whether it's contractors, family members, loved ones, associates. Then he had a 18 or 24-month campaign for president where he basically exposed himself to the American electric on a daily 24-hour basis. What an obfuscator he is and an audacity-prone candidate. Now that he's in office, the stock market's up, everything's wonderful. But once again yesterday, bad enough what he did to you Trumpsters on immigration, but what he's doing to the Second Amendment advocates and the people that coddled up to him and endorsed him down in Nashville 2 years ago. What a stab in the back. I just don't know how I never supported him, but I've seen some good policy things come from him. But I just don't know how these day-to-day Trumpsters can wake up and continue to support this guy. But thank you for taking my call.
Thanks, Tom.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
With so many homeowners fearful of poor service and not knowing who to trust, home remodeling is often delayed. But do you ever wonder why so many remodeling experiences go so wrong? Advanced Design Studio thinks remodeling shouldn't be so painful. Will the project stay on budget and be done on time? If you're nervous about home remodeling, you're not alone. Whether you're contemplating a new kitchen or bath, want an addition to your home, or in need of a whole house transformation, Advanced Design Studio is the company to call. They understand your fears and know how to overcome them. Backed by 25 years of producing positive remodeling experiences, Advanced Design's client service process, called Common Sense Remodeling, averts remodeling project delays, budget overruns, and produces a rewarding remodeling experience. Make this the year you overcome your fears and remodel your home, bath, or kitchen. Don't be a bad remodeling story. Use common sense and visit AdvancedDesignStudio.com for more information or call 847-836-2600.
A glass of wine on the patio at day's end. Laughter from your teens and their friends gathered around the crackling fire of your new fire pit. This is the private oasis that AM Woodland Outdoor Design can create for you. Your outdoor space should be a reflection of your family's personality and a true extension of your home, not just a place to set your grill and furniture. A well-designed and constructed outdoor space can add significant value to your home and bring endless days of enjoyment. Spend more time together as a family, entertain friends, or just have a personal sanctuary to relax and de-stress. The expert team at AM Woodland Outdoor Design will guide you through every step of the process. They provide quality service with the utmost integrity and reliability every time.
AM Woodland Outdoor Design, proudly serving Lake, Cook, and Kenosha counties, helping make the communities they grew up in as beautiful as they can be. Visit amwoodland.com. That's amwoodland.com or call 847-224-2167.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-471-9807. That's 800-471-9807. 800-471-9807. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll update you on what the Illinois state legislature did on guns yesterday, a number of votes on a number of measures, and remembering Hope Hicks.
Oh.
We hardly knew her because we never heard from her.
And the real reason why she's leaving. But now let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Rain and 40 degrees. President Trump says he wants to get guns out of the hands of the mentally ill.
I'm a big fan of the NRA. They want to do right. These are great people. These are great patriots. They love our country. But that doesn't mean we have to agree on everything.
The president holding a bipartisan meeting with lawmakers at the White House yesterday. Walmart says they will no longer sell guns or ammunition to anyone younger than 21. Special counsel Robert Mueller reportedly wants to know when President Trump knew about the hacked Democratic emails published by WikiLeaks in 2016. Mueller's team is asking witnesses if Trump knew about the emails before the public and whether he was involved in a strategic release. Attorney General Jeff Sessions pushing back against President Trump's latest harsh criticism. White House Communications Director resigning. Hope Hicks set to resign in the coming weeks. News of her resignation comes one day after testifying before the House Intelligence Committee. One woman is dead following a fire on Chicago's South Side. Authorities responding to the blaze last night on the third floor of an apartment building near 76th and Essex. Chicago aldermen are awarding a $20 million settlement to families of two men killed in a 2009 crash involving a reportedly drunk off-duty Chicago police officer, Detective Joseph Rigoli, who remains in prison. One man is dead following a fire in south suburban Flossmoor. Blaze breaking out yesterday in a home near Collette Lane and Dixie Highway. That victim's body was found inside after crews extinguished the flames. Bears parting ways with quarterback Mike Glennon. That's to be expected. Glennon will get a roster bonus once the new year starts. The new league year begins on March 14. Then he will be released along with linebacker Willie Young. Fighting Illini lost to Iowa 96-87 in round one of the Big Ten basketball tournament at Madison Square Garden. Tonight, Northwestern plays Penn State. The news service of Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less, from storage boxes and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. And right now, get up to $10 off when you buy TurboTax. Ends 3/3/18. Less tax stress equals more tax success. Staples, it's pro time. 5:34. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Outsmart the flu. The Exergen temporal scanner is the #1 thermometer preferred by pediatricians. Smart technology backed by over 70 clinical studies. Protect your family. Rely on Exergen.com. In business, you need smart storage solutions. For over 50 years, Bradford Systems has been the company Chicago turns to, specializing in commercial storage, filing systems, document management solutions, casework, and locker systems. Whether it's working with you to incorporate better storage elements into a historic building, creating a completely new workspace for your business, or even digitizing paper documents, Bradford Systems is there every step of the process. Their experienced digital solutions team will support your enterprise content management and business process outsourcing initiatives. Bradford Systems guarantees you'll have the exact storage solution you need, within budget and completed on time. Learn more at bradfordsystems.com or call 800-580-9151. That's 800-580-9151. Bradford Systems is a proud supporter of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Let Bradford Systems show you and your business smart storage solutions. Call now for a free consultation. 800-580-9151.
Latoria Brothers Construction Company is a proud sponsor of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Turn to Latoria Brothers Construction Company for all your commercial, industrial, or retail construction needs. New construction, renovations, interior remodeling, facility expansions, and tenant owner build-outs. Latoria Brothers Construction Company has you covered from start to finish. From design concept through construction completion, Latoria Brothers offers a single-source proactive approach. Their family has been providing a high level of excellence in service, reliability, and experience since 1948. Latoria Brothers. They'll modify services to accommodate your construction needs no matter what size and scope. Consulting, design, build, construction management, general contracting. Achieve your vision and dream for your facility. Save time and money. Make Latoria Brothers part of your construction team. Quality workmanship on time, on budget. Visit LatoriaConstruction.com or call 630-766-3036. Latoria Brothers. Shaking hands, not fists.
It is 5:36 this morning, and let's get an update on those morning roads. Not so good in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Some delays cropping up with Jim Talamonte.
That's right, Mike Kennedy. Inbound already heavy from the River Road toll to Canfield. It's 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound fine at 20, but speeds are reduced due to the conditions. The Edens is okay. Inbound Eisenhower has slow traffic, 9th Avenue to Des Plaines Avenue. 32 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30, also heavy approaching Des Plaines Avenue. Around Stevenson, delays start around Lamont Road, 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. It's clear outbound. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to the loop. Outbound, there's road work, 87th to the split, 3 right lanes. I-57, 17 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford already 32 minutes. Delays start at the 130th. Tollways are okay, but southbound 53 at Beesterfield, there's a crash in the center lane. On the south side, 35th and Ashland. Report of a person struck by a vehicle. Traffic service of TrueCar. Looking to buy a car? Online shopping can be confusing. Not anymore with True Price from TrueCar. Now you can know the exact price you'll pay for the car you want and see what other people paid for it too. You're ready to buy a new or a used car? Visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast does have that rain mixing with snow later today, high 44. That's our high temp for the day as temps fall, becoming partly cloudy and 30 overnight. Currently, we have rain and 39. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Sticking on our topic of guns, taking the local, the General Assembly was in session yesterday in Springfield. So your rights were in jeopardy, as they always are when they're in session. Senate Bill 1657 adds new licensing requirements for firearm dealers. This dealer registration bill creates a dealer licensing board, which provides for open-ended rulemaking by an administrative body. That passed. That's going to the governor's desk. That's a problem. That's a problem for gun dealers.
Why? What does it mean? Don't they have to background check their employees? Isn't that part of it?
Yeah. The problem with the gun licensing, I mean, there's a lot of problems with it. It's going to put law-abiding, legitimate, federally licensed gun dealers in jeopardy, if not out of business, because of the administrative costs of complying with open-ended requirements that are going to be promulgated by this Star Chamber. Here's the other thing. This was a backdoor way to get to what they can't get through the front door. The gun banners I'm talking about. That's the they. Gun registry. You heard from Bruno in Naperville before the news?
Yeah.
He's worried about gun registry. He should be, particularly in Illinois. That's what this is. I mean, there's nothing that says that they can't, the government and its empowered administrative body can't require you to record with specificity all the transactions of all of your customers, turn those over to the government for scrutiny.
I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with the gun registry?
No.
So you think that everybody should have all of their weapons registered with the government?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't see any problem with that?
I do not see a problem with that.
Any problem with the gun registry? Any concerns in the body politic out there and our friends and listening audience with the government gun registry, keeping track of the number of guns you have in your home, make and model, and all that? What about ammo, too? Registering the amount of ammo you have in your home?
I like the Serbian way. You can only be allowed 24 rounds a year.
Okay. So if we can't get that, though, you're happy to force the registration of ammo?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's keep a list of how many, yes.
All right. So anybody have a problem with guns and all ammo having to be registered with the government? Or alternatively, Amy's offering an alternative as she cedes your freedoms to the state. Yes, the alternative way to cede your freedom is to only be allowed to purchase 24 rounds of ammo.
One box a year.
A year. 24 rounds a year. It's going to make it a bit challenging to be an avid sportsman.
Got to be a good shot. Can't mess up.
You got 24 shots.
You
get 24 shots annually.
And that's it.
It's going to make my trips to the range a lot quicker. There's no question about that. I mean, I have to take up fishing. So you got that was the big one yesterday. They also moved to ban bump stocks, which was not really in controversy. That passed 83-31 in the House. And then changing the age requirement for the purchase or possession of high-capacity magazines and firearms. The bill defines as quote-unquote assault weapons. Only people 21 and older can buy those items now. Of course, in Illinois, you have to be 21 or older to get a FOID card. Yeah. And then there's a waiting period, too, 72-hour waiting period before you can buy a quote-unquote assault-style rifle or 50-caliber rifle. 72-hour waiting period. Like waiting periods?
I don't mind waiting periods.
No, exactly. 72 hours, is that long enough, or should we go longer?
No, 72 is fine.
How do you know?
You're buying something that's lethal that could kill other people. I'm okay with checking a background check to make sure that person is mentally stable.
Background check doesn't take 72 hours.
Well, if they're jammed up at Illinois State Police.
Err on the side of government to give them as much time as they need. Maybe you shouldn't have any limitation. Maybe it should just be until the government gets back to you. That's when you can get your gun.
Well, one company that's doing something that the Congress isn't is Dick's Sporting Goods. They're pretty much, they came forward and said that they're going to only sell assault rifles to people who are 21 and older.
Uh-huh.
No bump stocks.
Yeah, I know.
No high-capacity mag. And here's the CEO.
Yeah.
And this is why he's doing it. Just listen.
We actually sold the shooter a shotgun in November of last year. And we looked at that and found out that we did this. We had a pit in our stomach and said, we don't want to be a part of this story, and we need a responsibility to these kids. And we decided we are not going to sell these any longer.
Yeah. Well,
that's Edward Stack, and now Walmart is following suit.
I know, the virtue signal. Although Dick's Sporting Goods is just moving all their lethal stuff over to their Field and Stream stores,
Well, no, but even the Field and Stream stores, you have to be 21.
Yeah, no, I understand.
No, they are moving the assault rifles out of Dick's to their Field and Stream stores, but even there, you have to be 21 now, too.
Right. Virtue signaling. I get it. Corporate ninnies. What's surprising about that? It would be surprising if you didn't have big corporations fold, because that's what big corporations do to public pressure. They fold. Are you familiar with the Jesse Jackson Sr. story? You familiar with shakedown artists? You familiar with the outrage mob and their effectiveness? That's what corporations do. You think appealing to the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods is appealing to some kind of authority? That's fallacious reasoning. Mike in Union, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Good morning, Dan and Amy. Hey, two things I have a problem with registry of guns. One, I think the state of Illinois had tried registering weapons of people in the state, therefore making it possible for people who had orders of protection against them to find out where their ex-spouses were.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Still there?
Yeah.
Okay. And secondly, if you register your weapons with the government, isn't it possible for people to still find out where they are from Freedom of Information if it's a government file?
Well, this is the whole issue. Lisa Madigan wanted to make the gun list, the FOID list, FOIable, right?
I mean, so it's like, let's trust the government with more information.
Well, there's no question. I mean, if you can't trust the government, then who can you trust? The question, though, too, do you see gun registry? Thanks for the call, Mike. Do you see gun registry as a step in any direction? Or are we going to put our blinders on again and say, oh, no, we're just going to do this, and then that's going to be it? Is gun registry a step in a particular direction? I want to know the make and model of the guns at Dan's house, because ultimately, what do I want to do with Dan and his guns?
Maybe nothing nefarious.
Maybe.
Unless you're mentally ill, and then Trump, suggested taking the guns first and going through.
Maybe nothing nefarious. Maybe. And the benefit of the doubt belongs with the state. And we're going to ignore history. And we're going to ignore what domestic partisan politicians in this country say what they want to do with respect to gun ownership. So if gun-banning Democrats were in charge of the country, like they have been in charge of Chicago, for example, and that you didn't have the courts intervene, is there a direction they could go with a gun registry? That they have indicated they'd be interested in going to separate Dan from his guns. Don't you think? Is that a possibility too? Is that anything we should be concerned about? Or should we just say, hey, let's hope they don't do anything nefarious, and if they do, well, I'll be the first one to say mea culpa. I don't know. David in Barrington.
Hey, Dan and Amy. It's David. I don't know. This is kind of a little bit ridiculous to me. I think a caller before, when you guys discussed this topic, said very simply, this is an issue in Vietnam. You let 18-year-olds vote, but you're not going to put a weapon and let them protect themselves. You're going to give them a weapon and let them go fight, but you're not going to allow them to protect themselves. I don't know. I certainly don't think that it's going to stop any kind of violence, in schools or whatever, like these shootings. If anything, I think these kids who are set on hurting others could just as easily go on YouTube and make a bomb and go start, putting bombs in schools and, just like pulling off terrorist attacks, in our schools, not with guns, but with bombs. I mean, it's just silly, they're, it's not, again, like someone else said, it's not going to the root of the problem. It's just fluffy stuff that they're doing. It's like putting a Band-Aid just to cover things up instead of taking a look and really trying to fix things.
Thanks for the call, David. Yeah, I mean, they know it's not going to do anything. They don't believe it's going to do anything. I go back to Vox. I mean, a cursory review of the data. What about the teacher in Georgia yesterday? What about that teacher? 53-year-old teacher barricades himself in a classroom, fires off a shot. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
One student hurt herself running away from the gunshot.
Should we have a conversation about the about teachers in the classroom because of that incident?
Well, that teacher's not well. I mean,
well, who failed then? Who failed to recognize that the teacher was unwell? 53-year-old. You want to make a law, you want to take away somebody else's rights because you're trying to chase incidents and manifestations of the human condition that you will never catch. You will never catch up to. So what do people say about the teacher in Georgia? If we're going to extrapolate from the anecdotal to make public policy to govern 330 million people in a free society, well, then where's that? Where do you draw that line? If all it takes is a scary anecdote to pass a law to restrict somebody's freedom. Karen in Oak Forest.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I am calling in the effort to open a conversation about the age. And I don't know that any of us can say what is the right maturity age for anything anymore, because the maturity level today is much different than it was. I'm 56 years old, than when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I am a concealed carry holder. I just want to put that out there so you know where my mind is. And I was also used to be a boat owner. And, for example, all you need is a driver's license to drive a boat, but yet people don't know the rules of the road. So my effort to open a conversation is in the fact that it's not really about an age as to when you should be able to get a FOI card. Perhaps you have to go to classes just like you need to for a driver's license or anything else, and learn the respect, learn how to take apart a gun and put it back together, learn how to clean it, learn what the effects of it is, learn to fire it and everything else, because no matter what, the bad guys are always going to get the guns. But if we can filter through in a classroom setting, for example, when I took my concealed carry, it was directed by a Navy SEAL. There was someone in our classroom that was asking very strange questions and making everybody uneasy. He kicked him out of the class. He didn't get his concealed carry.
Yeah, thanks.
And we also know that the gangbangers get half their guns by girlfriends walking into getting a FOI card because they're old enough. We know that that's what happens. I have no proof of it, but we know that is out there.
Karen, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. I mean, I would, just building on what Karen's saying, I would encourage people again to read David French's piece in The Atlantic from yesterday that we talked about briefly, which talks about, from a very personal level, the experience of becoming a law-abiding gun owner. It's almost a progression, and it spoke to me in terms of my experience, and I think it's what Karen is speaking about as well. This is why the dire predictions about concealed carry never materialized, because people who are law-abiding without a gun are, generally speaking, intending on being law-abiding as a gun owner. And so the culture and the responsibility that is attendant to gun ownership, to using a gun, whether in a sporting setting or
for security,
or in one of these moments in time that we've discussed.
I mean, I had a friend yesterday, a woman, say, you know what, I went to the shooting range because I want to learn how to protect myself.
Yeah.
And because she knew I used to be a gun owner, so she said, what do I need to do? And I said, you've got 2 young kids, so we went over the whole, securing your weapon and locking it up. But she made a good point. She said, so if I have my ammo in one location and my gun in a lock box, then somebody comes into my house. In a split second, I need my gun by my bed?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's...
yeah. And, by the way...
That's something we all go through as gun owners. I mean, it's a dilemma.
Well, sure.
I'm saying if we have children.
The other dilemma that she has is she can't get practice and get proficient because in Amy's world, she only has 24 bullets a year to use. So don't use them up at the range. You may need a couple of those.
Maybe free bullets at the range.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Big taxpayer-funded bullets. Chris in Kansasville.
Yeah, Amy, I'm tired of being embarrassed by you. If you like the Serbian way, go to Serbia. I say the same thing to anybody that goes to wants Australian rules. Go to Australia and go there. If you want those rules, go where they are. That's fine. But that being said, the government has never done anything correctly, so now we're going to give them more stuff to screw up?
Thanks for the call, Chris. And she makes a good point. If you want to enjoy Australian rules football, you go to Australia or you become a Bears fan.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
If you own a business, you'll do everything you can to keep the lights on. The thing is, keeping those lights on can be much more cost-effective than you ever imagined. And Twin Supplies can help. Twin Supplies specializes in helping businesses, public entities, and nonprofits get energy efficient with their lighting and take advantage of incentives from utility companies to help with energy improvement costs. From restaurants to schools, churches, and stadiums, they'll walk you through every step to realize maximum money savings and energy efficiency. Your maintenance staff will spend less time changing bulbs with worry-free fixtures that feature up to a 10-year warranty. Plus, the quality of your lighting will improve, resulting in improved working conditions and safety. Find out how much your commercial business can save with a free energy audit from Twin Supplies. Utility companies change their incentives frequently and funds can run out. Now is the time to take action. Don't wait. Call 630-590-5138 or log on to twinsupplies.net and take charge of your business's energy efficiency. Twinsupplies.net.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Supporting veterans is our passion. That's why we support Veteran Roasters, a Chicago coffee roaster that hires homeless and chronically unemployed veterans. If you'd like to help create jobs for homeless veterans, visit veteranroasters.com and purchase a 12-ounce bag of coffee roasted and ground by once homeless and unemployed veterans. The coffee's delicious and the profits are reinvested in hiring additional homeless veterans. Use promo code Team Hochberg to save 50% off the second bag you purchase. If you're a veteran securing a VA loan and would like to work with a local lender who supports veterans, call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Spring. The birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming, the lawnmower is not starting. Get Mechanic in a Bottle. Mechanic in a Bottle fixes poor or non-running engines by cleaning the fuel system. No more costly repairs. Just one bottle of Mechanic in a Bottle should do the job. Available at the Home Depot, Tractor Supply, and Walmart, or visit mechanicinaBottle.com. Trusted by engine and equipment manufacturers everywhere. Also look for Ethanol Shield Fuel Stabilizer, because treating your fuel in the fall will prevent trouble in the spring.
5:57 is our time. Let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. We've early delays with the rain, a contributing factor. Kennedy inbound slow from the River Road toll to Canfield, Boston to Central, and Fullerton to Division. 26 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 12 from Montrose, 8 to the Express. Up on 22 minutes downtown to O'Hare. The 8 still free of any significant congestion. The speeds are reduced with rain. On Eisenhower, bottled up Wolf to Austin, 43 minutes, 390 to downtown, up on 33. Inbound Stevenson, already 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, up on 34. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 45. Eastbound Adams, still way heavy for the Tri-State to Kennedy. Traffic is a service of TheraWorks Relief. To relieve muscle cramps in your legs and feet, use TheraWorks Relief. This fast-acting foam is clinically proven to relieve leg and foot cramps. TheraWorks Relief can also prevent muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today at select CVS and Rite Aid pharmacies or TheraWorksRelief.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Well, that comes from meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Periods of rain mixing with snow today. Breezy with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high 42. Then tonight becoming partly cloudy, low 30. Tomorrow mostly sunny, high 44. And a clear night, low 28. Full day of sunshine for Saturday with a high 45. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Rain and 40 degrees right now. The news, a service of Walgreens, looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions. As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as low as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. One woman is dead following a fire on Chicago's South Side. Authorities responded to the blaze last night in a third-floor apartment near 76th and Essex. For all the back and forth over guns at the Illinois Capitol yesterday, just one proposed law is headed to the governor's desk. One man is dead following a fire in suburban Flossmoor. Blaze broke out yesterday in a home near Collette Lane and Dixie Highway. That investigation continues this morning. The Bears will be parting ways with quarterback Mike Glennon. Fighting Illini lost to Iowa in round one of the Big Ten basketball tournament at Madison Square Garden. Breezy and cooler with rain changing to snow. WIND Chicago News Time is 6 o'clock.
Trying to find common ground on guns. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Mr. President, it's going to have to be you that brings the Republicans to the table on this.
Then President Trump told Democratic Senator Chris Murphy.
I think it's time. It's time that a president stepped up.
President Trump also chided lawmakers, including Republicans, of being afraid of the NRA. He says he is not.
They are well-meaning. And I said to him very nice, I said, fellas, we got to do something.
Well, they discussed stronger background checks at the meeting yesterday, a possible ban of some weapons, raising the age on buying rifles, and the president added,
I'll tell you what, I don't want mentally ill people to be having guns.
Republican Senator Steve Daines was among the 17 lawmakers there. To him, the biggest issue is securing the schools.
If you remember on 9/11, we were afraid to get on airplanes. The American people were fearful of traveling in the sky. We were able to secure the skies.
Today, the kids at Parkland, Florida High School, the Stoneman Douglas, will return for another half day. They returned for the first time yesterday, 2 weeks after the massacre. President Trump is losing an aide that was one of the first in his campaign. Fox's Rachel Sutherland, live in Washington.
Dave Hope Hicks, the president's longest-serving aide, is leaving her post as White House Communications Director. She announced her resignation a day after she testified before the House Intelligence Committee, telling the panel she sometimes told white lies for her boss, but never about the Russia probe. In a statement, President Trump called Hicks smart and thoughtful and said he'll miss having her by his side. Her office was next to the Oval Office, and she was perceived as having the ability to influence the president. Dave?
Rachel, they'll start to pick a jury today to put the widow of a terrorist on trial in Orlando.
Did she knowingly help? That's key to the prosecution of Noor Salman, the widow of the Orlando nightclub shooter. Salman was miles away in the couple's home, but prosecutors say she knew about her husband's plans.
That's Fox's Carmen Roberts. 49 people were killed in that attack. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
She ran Al Gore's presidential campaign. She served as the chair of the Democratic National Committee. She's considered one of the most influential Democrats in the country. And on Thursday, March 22nd, Donna Brazil will go head-to-head with AM 560's Dan Proft. It's Beyond the Talking Points with Dan Proft and Donna Brazil. They'll discuss, dissect, and debate the big issues dividing our country. Get your tickets at 560theanswer.com/beyond. Sponsored in part by 1-800-4-BLINDS, Chicago. Blinds, shades, and shutters.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
If your to-do list is long, but you're short on time, get the amazing Tackle app. For house cleaning, yard work, hanging TVs, washing windows, or hauling off junk, Tackle can save the day. The concept is simple. Tackle connects you with background check providers who can help with simple chores. The Tackle app has hundreds of pre-priced chores. If you have a unique chore, there's a cool custom job feature. Download the Tackle app today and get $50 off your first job. That's TAKL. Get your to-do list done with Tackle.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Diana's hired with Indeed.
It just gives me so many more qualified applicants to choose from.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust upon a free people. The question then isn't what's in my holster, it's what's in my head and my heart.
You want to go to Italy, but not on a pre-packaged tour. You want something more real. You want to do what you love in Italy, to gather with friends, your beloved family, a big table, in your own private villa in Tuscany. It's easier than you think. DoWhatYouLoveInItaly.com is a small company with 8 villas to choose from, all in the most beautiful and culturally interesting countryside of Tuscany. For the cost of a hotel, you can rent a private, centuries-old villa with pool, gardens, and classic Tuscan views. Grandparents, kids, and grandchildren, groups of friends, your family, together in one of our gorgeous Italian villas in the heart of Tuscany. They are called Do What You Love in Italy because they help you to do what you love in Italy. See the 8 villas waiting for you at DoWhatYouLoveInItaly.com. Do what you love in Italy.com.
True story. So I urged one of my family members to call CertaPro Painters. He didn't do it, and that painting crew had to come back 3 times to fix their awful, sloppy mistakes, even paint on the floor, if you can believe it. Well, with CertaPro Painters, you get the best in the business. The attention to detail, color selection is truly unmatched. And now is the perfect time to get the interior of your home or business painted. The lower humidity provides an ideal environment for great coverage and quick drying times. They use fine quality paints with 0 or low VOCs, very little to no odor during application. Be an early bird and cross the first item off your 2018 to-do list. It's also the perfect time to spruce up your commercial property. Remember, each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. That's CERTA with the C. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
As a business owner, you have hundreds of decisions to make on a daily basis. It's beyond needing to pay bills, keeping employees happy, or what the next step is to grow your business. Part of your stress can be making sure you're protected in a time of crisis. Can you trust that your insurance provider is going to be there when you need them most? When you're looking for a partner who's there for you in your most desperate times, call Insure with Us. You won't have to wait on hold to talk to an agent who's unfamiliar with your policy. Speak directly to who wrote your policy when you have any urgent question or need. Don't hesitate. Get it done today. Get a free quote in less than 24 hours at lowcostinsurance.biz. Choose from dozens of top insurers across the U.S. Insure with Us focuses on finding you the best coverage for your business and for your family. Visit them today at lowcostinsurance.biz. Insure with Us. Coverage for the things that matter most.
Why do we call it small business? Why not agile business, nimble business, dance circles around the big bulky behemoths business? Ooma Office, the small business phone solution, has a virtual receptionist to direct calls to the right extension and a mobile app to help you answer while away from the office. About all that's small really is the price, starting at only $19.95 a month. Visit Ooma.com, that's OOMA, or call 866-649-9377 to find out more. Ooma, the phone your small business deserves.
People make your business work. But how do you find the right talent? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella, Sunday mornings starting at 8.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And I don't really know what to say about Hope Hicks because I never heard her say anything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We never heard her voice.
A comm director of sorts. I mean, she is the comm director, but I think of sorts in terms of professional capacity. 29-year-old communications director for President Trump is leaving her post as comm director to pursue other interests, and I assume to spend more time with Rob Porter.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Hey, too soon. But she's what, the fifth one? We had Jason Miller, we had Anthony Scaramucci, Sean Spicer.
I don't think Sean Spicer was ever comm director. No. There was another guy, but, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5. So she's leaving. I love what CNN said. They described her as President Trump's Prozac. That she's the one who calms him down. She's the one who keeps him stable. She's, has been with him for 3 years because he's all about loyalty. So, everyone's asking why. Why is she leaving now? Mine of it comes.
Is everyone asking that, or is everyone saying who?
How do you? Hope Hicks is
the only way people even seen her bubble to the surface is her testimony earlier this week,
right? And that in front of the House Intelligence Committee, where she reportedly said that she told white lies for the president, but never lied about anything consequential. And according to CNN, it was that interaction that she had with the House Intelligence Committee is the reason why President Trump's like, now might be the time to go.
I don't believe that. No way. It's just, according to CNN, there's your first indication it's not true.
Fake news.
That's absurd. There's no way. She comes up through Ivanka, right? She worked for Ivanka's fashion line before she got yanked into this ragtag group of operatives that were sort of running something resembling a presidential campaign for most of the beginning stages of Trump's campaign before he got his legs underneath him a little bit. It really was sort of the force of his personality and the media obsession with him that buoyed him in the early days of that campaign because the people he had around him. Corey Lewandowski is a clown. Hope Hicks, she may be a very nice girl, but the idea that she was ready after repping Ivanka's fashion line to do political comms at the presidential level is absurd. Absurd. Okay, can we just be honest about this? So, to me, she is a loyalist and she's a family friend. And, maybe there's tension between the plastic people, Ivanka and Jared, and President Trump. and she doesn't want to get in the middle of it. Maybe she's recognized this just isn't for her. She doesn't want to be under scrutiny. She doesn't want to be testifying in closed-door meetings before House Intel.
Too much for a lady who hasn't even turned 30 yet.
Yeah, and maybe she just wants something that's less profile, less pressure, not political. She doesn't come from a political background.
And maybe she just misses Rob Porter at work. I mean, they hung out a lot at work, and now
I
he's not there
I understand.
anymore. Affairs matters of the heart, Dan.
According to CNN, they're no longer dating. So I have no idea.
We don't know. We don't know if they're still
I have no idea. Don't care.
And I don't care either. But you know what? She looks like a
anyway.
young Melania. I mean, really. She's.
I can see that.
Because sometimes I'll see pictures of her and I think, oh, is that Melania? Oh, no, it's not Melania. It's Hope Hicks.
Just like people say you look like a young Heather Locklear.
Oh, that is
but I mean,
so mean.
Why does that mean? A young Heather Locklear? That's a compliment. I was getting to the mean part.
Oh.
A young
Okay.
Heather Locklear per her mugshot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see you, too.
I thought, well,
Hey, thanks
Amy
for
got
coming to
arrested.
work.
Amy's on TMZ. No, of course. All right, so Hope Hicks will miss her. Right?
Well, who's gonna
what
take
else
her
is there to
place?
say about this?
Come on, who's gonna take her place? Why
Yeah.
don't you apply, Dan?
Yeah.
Straighten things out over there.
I may be looking for work soon enough. Trump also yesterday, speaking of internal intrigue and tension, Trump took out after Attorney General Sessions, who's sort of become his favorite whipping boy.
What is going on between those two cats?
Well, it's the same thing. He doesn't think Sessions is aggressive enough, generally speaking, and he doesn't think he's been aggressive enough specifically in investigating allegations of misconduct in the handling of the surveillance of former advisor to the president, Carter Page, during the 2016 campaign, to the extent that you can call Carter Page an advisor when, according to Carter Page, he has never spoken with the president. It's tough to advise somebody that you've never communicated with. So that's the D.C. press corps' characterization of Carter Page. But the underlying point is he wants to go after people that weaponize the state, ostensibly, against his campaign. And he thinks the attorney general should be more aggressive in investigating that, both with respect to FISA and the surveillance, but now that's been pulled into the Russian collusion thing, and Sessions, of course, has recused himself, so I think he's still upset about that. But also as well as the unmasking of General Flynn, which we know is a felony. But again, that's been pulled into the Russian collusion matter, and so Sessions has recused himself. So I think Trump, when the Russian collusion investigation is central in the news, he kind of uses Jeff Sessions as a bit of a pincushion to express his frustrations for Sessions' recusal that still obviously bothers him, even though maybe in other areas, for example, going after sanctuary states and sanctuary city, the attorney general has been more aggressive, and the president has more appreciated that aspect of his work.
Well, would President Trump get rid of Jeff Sessions? Or that might look bad?
Anything's possible. I mean, I think.
Clearly, they do not like each other, and they haven't since he.
I don't know if it's about like. I think there's just a difference of opinion, and there's frustration there. And Sessions is a professional. I think part of this though too is I just think it's a cultural thing, and a cultural thing. I mean, Jeff Sessions is a product of prosecutors' offices and the Senate in particular.
Right.
This kind of where you have this pretense of civility and focus on process. And Trump is not a process guy, if you haven't picked up on that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But there's been bad blood since Sessions recused himself from the Russian investigation, and that's just how they're going to have to live their lives, agreeing to disagree.
Well, nobody expects Sessions to necessarily go the entire term. I mean, the idea of people moving in and out of positions, even at the highest levels of government, is nothing new for a presidential administration. The open warfare, the public chastising of your attorney general is a bit new. It's a bit new, especially the frequency of it. So we'll have to see what Trump thinks of the timing. But I think there are some things. I think it would be judicious to let some things play out a bit further before making a change at that post, because what it's going to be perceived as what? It'd be the same. It'd be not the same thing, but it would be of a kind of firing Mueller. It's going to be perceived as, oh, this is a way to cover his tracks. This is a way to bring somebody in who's a loyalist who will fire Mueller. This is, so I think he's got to let the Mueller investigation continue. He's got to let that breathe a little bit more before he would potentially make a change. And of course, who he would backfill Sessions with would be particularly germane. So he's got to have somebody that's beyond reproach, that's impeccable, and that would easily get bipartisan support, unless he wants to have a whole new self-imposed controversy on his hands, which he could use to avoid before the midterms.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And President Trump has given Attorney General Jeff Sessions a brutal nickname. Calls him Mr. Magoo. Oh, that's not nice.
It's not a brutal nickname. It's just not a good nickname.
Mr. Magoo?
Sessions can't see?
I don't know.
It's weird.
Today, forecast breezy, cooler, but there is rain. And later, that rain is going to turn into a slushy, snowy mix. A high of 44 degrees. Then it stops by tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 30. And for Friday, yes, tomorrow's Friday, we'll have mostly sunny skies, mild, a high of 45 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Good morning. Well, let's try to get to Friday. It's pretty messy on the roads already. Southbound 53 jammed. Higgins to before Beesterfield. Got a crash there, blocking 2 left lanes. Inbound Bishop Ford. It's a solid mess. 130th to the merge. 55 minutes from 8094 to the Rhine. It's 18 minutes via I-57. And the Rhine is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. Outbound crash just reported at Toohey. Kennedy, 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 27. The Ike, 50 minutes, 390 to the Circle, outbound 33. Stevenson, an hour and 8 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. It's 52 minutes from the Tri-State. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
By the way, Blaine Blue Jays beat Waters in the first round of the March Madness. We won 7-2.
High-scoring affair.
Yeah, and we kept it's all about defense at that age. Hey, great news for March. It's right around the corner. The MyPillow 4-pack deal is extended. So if you've procrastinated you should get the MyPillow right now. Don't wait any longer. Go online or call now to take advantage of this great deal. By using the promo code Amy, you'll get the absolute best deal available anywhere. The MyPillow 4-pack deal includes 2 premium MyPillows and 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows at 50% off. You can move the fill to get the support you need regardless of how you sleep. I never wake up with a stiff neck or headache. I always feel great, and I cannot sleep without MyPillow. MyPillow is made in America, washable, dryable, hypoallergenic, and has a 10-year warranty plus a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your 50% off the 4-pack in March by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit MyPillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Career politicians put jobs in Mexico ahead of jobs in Muncie. Jobs in Beijing ahead of Bloomington. And when our jobs disappeared, the insiders sat on their hands and did nothing. Businessman and outsider Mike Braun is running for U.S. Senate to bring Indiana jobs back. Family man, businessman, Christian, Mike Braun created hundreds of jobs here in Indiana. As senator, Mike Braun will help pass President Trump's agenda. Braun will repeal Obamacare once and for all, defund dangerous sanctuary cities, and finally build the wall. And Mike Braun will protect the right to life and stand up for our values. No more career politicians. Businessman, outsider, conservative. We need Mike Braun in the United States Senate. He puts Indiana and America first.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Starting Balance of Nature, I felt that the first month I felt different. It made such a difference that
Now I wake up, my head feels clearer, I have more energy. Very rarely does my body cramp up anymore. It's the best thing. It's just amazing. I don't know what to say. I just would not be what I am today if I didn't start Balance of Nature.
I'm planning on taking this the rest of my life because until I started taking your stuff, I never took as many fruits and vegetables in a day as I get through you guys. You know, I'm very, very, very satisfied.
My pain and it went away. I swear to you that that's the truth.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This is a story that continues to dog the Rauner administration.
Dolores French was one of 12 residents to die after contracting Legionella bacteria. Their son, Steve French, heard news of a Legionnaire's disease outbreak and called.
At that time, she was already dead.
Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner said, "We're really on top of the situation." Last fall, 3 more residents tested positive for the bacteria. A Korean War veteran died.
We've handled it exceptionally well, and we would not do anything different.
Jeannie Ives stands with our veterans. She always has. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor. Only one candidate for governor consistently fights for Illinois taxpayers.
Our economy is too weak for a tax hike, and you know it. You know we need jobs, you complain about it all the time, and you won't fix our job creation problems.
That's why the tax watchdog group Tax Accountability endorsed Jeannie Ives over Bruce Rauner and made her the first state representative to earn a perfect score from the group. Jeannie Ives, the consistent conservative for Illinois governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
Songs have been written about it, wars have been fought over it, and just holding it in the palm of your hands is magnificent. Silver and gold have been bartered, bought, and sold for centuries, and now is the time for you to invest in one of the most recognized financial assets and ensure your portfolio is guarded against inflation and a declining dollar. For such an exclusive opportunity and investment, put your trust in Kedzie Coins. Kedzie Coins is an accredited precious metals dealer member with family roots in the heart of Chicago. And as members of the Professional Numismatics Guild, they are committed to the strictest standards of excellence and ethics. With one of the largest selections of gold and silver bullion minted in the U.S., Kedzie Coins is your destination to buy American. Visit one of their 3 locations, Kedzie Coins and Jewelry on 59th and Kedzie in Chicago, What a Gem Jewelry and Coins in Berwyn, or the flagship store, Broadway Jewelry and Rare Coins in Bradley, just north of Kankakee. For questions or to set up an appointment, call 773-436-0777.
Message and data rates may apply.
Here's something I bet you didn't know about prescription drugs. You could be paying a lot less for your family's medications, up to 80% less. Even less than your Medicare or insurance copay. How? With GoodRx. See, GoodRx compares prices of every FDA-approved drug at pharmacies in your area and offers free downloadable coupons, so you get the best deals on all your medications. You'd be surprised to see just how much the prices can differ. In fact, last year alone, GoodRx saved Americans over $2 billion on their medications. Imagine paying even less than your insurance copay. Plus, GoodRx can sometimes find your medications for free. There are never any fees, and no personal information is ever required. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions and save up to 80% instantly by texting the word GoodRx to 99,000 for automated text messages from GoodRx. Or go to goodrx.com. Text GoodRx to 99,000. Save today. Text GOODRX to 99000.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, boy, a lot of reaction to Hope Hicks of this variety. Text from 708. Never heard of Hope Hicks, non-issue. All right, there you go. Steve on 88, I'm sure there's a Lana Del Rey song to describe Hope Hicks.
Kiss me hard before you go.
This does make me think of Hope Hicks, actually. I think Steve on 88 is right.
She's walking, her hair's flying. She's got the look on her face.
Yeah.
Like walking the catwalk.
Yeah, thanks for that tip, Steve. That's a good...
I'm going to be singing that song all day.
Hey, have you seen what D&G is doing? Dolce & Gabbana? The boys?
No.
Your fashion correspondent over here for Chicago's Morning Answer. That's me. Dolce & Gabbana, by the way, proponents of traditional marriage.
Dolce. What is what? Dolce. I'm sorry.
What?
I don't.
You don't know who Dolce & Gabbana are? Dolce and Gabbana. You're a woman and you don't know who Dolce and Gabbana
Maybe
are.
I'm really transitioning. My
I'm
name's
starting
Andy.
to question.
Dolce and Gabbana?
Dolce and Gabbana.
Well, maybe we should go shopping sometime.
I gotta improve my look at some point in time.
I mean,
Gabbana.
can what? What?
All right, Dolce and Gabbana?
Are you serious? You've never heard of these guys before? You've never heard of this brand before?
I'm looking at it now. It looks lovely.
Justin in the control room is shaking his head incredulously at
He
you.
didn't know who Joe Namath was.
Yeah.
But then again, he's
11.
21.
Yeah.
Now he can buy an assault rifle.
Dolce and Gabbana used drones to carry handbags down the runway. Handbags that you'll never own, obviously.
Well, if you want to buy me one. This is a little tacky, these men's T-shirts by Dolce & Gabbana.
You're just availing yourselves of the D&G T-shirt now.
What about the printed shorts? You don't wear those, do you, on the golf course?
No, I don't
Those
wear
look
shorts.
like Zuba pants.
I don't wear shorts on the golf course because I respect the game.
Oh, okay.
I wear knickers like Payne Stewart.
So Dolce and Gabbana, they're using drones instead of women.
I mean, that's I'm bearing the lead if we talk about that now. It's the fact that you've never heard of them. You're the only upscale Lakeview princess that's never heard of D&G. I can guarantee you that.
Okay, let me see the women's clothes.
You know how you're going to be ridiculed if people back in your home neighborhood there hear about this? They're going to be guess you're going to be socially ostracized.
I already am.
Well, it's going to get worse.
My favorite friends are here at work.
Audience members were asked to turn off Wi-Fi on their phones as well as any personal hotspots. I guess your personal hotspot right here.
Right here, baby.
7 or so drones. You thought it was pageantry at the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games, or the P.F. Chang Olympic Games. 7 or so drones flew down the runway, each carrying a leather and jewel-encrusted handbag from the latest fall-winter 2018-2019 collection, of which Amy knows nothing.
How much do those things run? Those handbags.
This is like, they're I don't know, they're millions of dollars.
For a hand?
Yeah, at least. I don't know. Yeah. But you're going to get it good and hard. Yeah. So that was the theme. The D&G drone
fashion show.
Runway show.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Camille Paglia, my favorite atheist, feminist, conservative, weighs in on the Me Too movement at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Oh, look at his handbag.
I have 2 words for you, my dear.
What?
Spice Girls.
I know who the Spice Girls.
You criticized him for not knowing the Spice Girls.
Exactly.
And you didn't know about D&G.
These people employ 4,000 workers in Italy. Dolce and Gabbana. Dominant.
Hey, I love Italians.
There you go.
Hey.
So you need to go out and purchase today. Go to Oak Street. Go find some nice purses on drones. Mm-hmm. Hook yourself up, and then you'll be back in our good graces.
I'll let you know what the price tag is on those bad boys.
Yes,
Christmas can come early for Amy this year.
Yes, you will. 40 degrees and rain showers. President Trump said yesterday he wants to get guns out of the hands of mentally ill people immediately at a White House conference.
I'm a big fan of the NRA. They want to do it. These are great people. These are great patriots. They love our country. But that doesn't mean we have to agree on everything.
The president holding a bipartisan meeting with lawmakers, repeating his call to raise the minimum age for assault weapons from 18 to 21 and wanting to keep guns out of the hands, he says, of the mentally ill. Walmart will no longer sell guns or ammunition to anyone younger than 21, the nation's biggest retailer announcing the move yesterday. Attorney General Jeff Sessions pushing back against President Trump's latest harsh criticism. The president tweeting out it's disgraceful, his word, that Sessions is asking an internal Justice Department watchdog to investigate possible surveillance cases. In a statement, Sessions said it is appropriate to put the issue in the hands of the Inspector General. A story we've been following for you throughout the last couple of months. 2 major U.S. airlines this morning say they will tighten restrictions for bringing emotional support animals onto airplanes. The new rules at Delta and United take effect again today. It requires a 48-hour notice and documentation before bringing any untrained animals into the passenger cabin. One woman is dead following a fire on Chicago's South Side. Crews found the victim's body after putting out the flames at 76th and Essex. One man is dead following a blaze that broke out in Flossmoor. It started yesterday in a home near Collette Lane and Dixie Highway. This morning, that fire remains under investigation. The Bears will be parting ways with quarterback Mike Glennon and plan to release linebacker Willie Young. College hoops season is over, thankfully, for the Fighting Illini in a loss to Iowa, 96-87 at Madison Square Garden. Meantime, Northwestern will play Penn State tonight in a second-round matchup. Cubs hold on to beat the A's in Cactus Place 7-5. White Sox continue to swing good bats. They beat the Rangers 5-4. The news service of Walgreens looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions. As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as low as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. 6:33, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager is skeptical about a show of weaponry.
You have a Salute the Military parade in Washington. There will be a major display of weaponry. I'm emoting. I admit it. We don't need a military parade down Washington. Salute the military. Yeah, the people.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Cold or flu? Fever is flu's trademark. The Exergen temporal scanner is the #1 thermometer pediatricians recommend. Protect your family with technology backed by over 70 clinical studies. Exergen.com.
With so many homeowners fearful of poor service and not knowing who to trust, home remodeling is often delayed. But do you ever wonder why so many remodeling experiences go so wrong? Advanced Design Studio thinks remodeling shouldn't be so painful. Will the project stay on budget and be done on time? If you're nervous about home remodeling, you're not alone. Whether you're contemplating a new kitchen or bath, want an addition to your home, or in need of a whole house transformation, Advanced Design Studio is the company to call. They understand your fears and know how to overcome them. Backed by 25 years of producing positive remodeling experiences, Advanced Design's client service process, called Common Sense Remodeling, averts remodeling project delays, budget overruns, and produces a rewarding remodeling experience. Make this the year you overcome your fears and remodel your home, bath, or kitchen. Don't be a bad remodeling story. Use common sense and visit AdvancedDesignStudio.com for more information or call 847-836-2600.
6:34. Let's get an update on the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Let's get the very latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound stop and go Dempster Junction. It's a soggy 30-minute drive from Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 25 with crash 2 in the left lane. Kennedy, 35 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 15 from Montrose, 12 in the express. Outbound 15 minutes to Montrose, 32 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower. Now an hour from 390 to downtown. 44 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 34 to 390. Down Stevenson, delays start at Weber Road, and it's an hour and 8 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 37 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 32 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, 1 hour. Northbound Tri-State delays, 95th to 75th. Plainfield Road to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. But Adams Tollway slow, from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. The other tollways are okay. Traffic service to Staples. Let Staples help you this tax season with everything you need for less. From storage, boxes, and filing supplies to software like QuickBooks and TurboTax. Right now, get up to $10 off if you buy TurboTax. Ends 3/3/18. Less tax stress equals more tax success. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Breezy and cooler. Periods of rain mixing with snow, a high of 44. Becoming partly cloudy and 30 overnight. Mostly sunny and 45 tomorrow. Currently rain and 40. Your next news update is at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560 The Answer.
Dolce & Gabbana, Fendi and Adana, Karen, they be sharing all their money.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Fergie sings, is this like that Ghastly My Lady Lump song?
Yeah, by Hump. My Hump, my Hump.
Oh, jeez. Gross.
Dolce Gabbana.
This is
Gabbana.
This singing is better though than the national anthem at the All-Star game. I'll tell you that.
Purses run you about $2,000 to $3,000, sometimes $4,000.
Oh, thanks. Hey, tell me more about this company you've just heard of. These world-renowned fashion designers that you've just become.
I'm just saying, I'm never ever gonna own one of their handbags
because my minivan costs less than one of these handbags.
Your minivan is less durable than their handbags and stylish and functional.
Well, how long have they been around?
A long time. This is.
They met.
What are you talking about?
When did Dolce meet Gabbana?
They met in the early '80s in Milan. The only reason I know this is that they did a
unauthorized biography.
No, sorry, I didn't. There is a gentleman here in town whose family is one of the premier bakers in town. I'm not going to drop names.
We'll drop names.
Toronto.
Yeah. He goes back and serves in the.
Thank you.
You said it. He goes back and served for many years in the Italian Senate, which was a voluntary honorary position. And he would
There's
always
nothing honorary about the Italian Senate.
Yeah, maybe not. But he was trying to do the right thing and go back and try to be a good citizen. And you're invited back. It's an honorary. It's not like a major legislative body. It's an honorary body. But he would spin tales about all the Italian houses that his wives and children would. And so he's had histories and lists and things. And we used to listen to cool stories about how Italian couture came from nothing to something. How they moved from Paris because the Italians were not liked in Paris, so they moved their houses back to Italy, to Milan and elsewhere, and just said, hey, we're going to set up shop here and we're going to do it here, and they did.
It's Fashion Week on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Tuxedos tomorrow morning.
Fashion correspondent Mike Scott.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Look what I'm
straight
wearing
out of
this morning.
Riverside.
Yeah.
Straight out of the hood.
Sure, with one of the Midwest capital of haute couture. Riverside. No
we do
question
make very, very, very good, very, very good, very nice, drinkable, expensive in Riverside liquors.
No.
Just want to say, if you want to just Google that up a little bit,
all right.
just to give another unnamed hint drop to my friends.
Let's go get our drink on in Riverside.
Yeah, I'll tell you. All right, that segment was brought to you by the Riverside Chamber of Commerce. All right, very good.
Okay, payoffs coming later.
Okay, all right, we're educating people about all kinds of things
I think it's
today.
great. It's pop culture. I mean, it's Dolce and Gabbana.
Yeah.
Which I keep calling Dolce and Gabbana. It's Gabbana.
Yeah, why don't you just stick with D&G until you're comfortable with their names.
Okay.
All right, we got to talk guns here. Again, as I said previously, favorite part of these public issue roundtables that Trump has with the bipartisan group of Congress beings is watching the Pauls be so measured and demure in the president's presence, the same people who are in full Keith Olbermann froth talking about impeachment on the cable talk shows. It's just really, really interesting. That was the fun part about it, and that was where the fun kind of ended. Although Trump, even though he publicly disagreed with the position the NRA has on things like raising the age requirement to purchase a rifle to 21, he did say unequivocally, gun-free zones, most unsafe places around.
You're not allowed concealed in a gun-free zone.
No, well.
So what do?
Yeah, and he basically said, I would eliminate the gun-free zones. He said, I don't think they make any sense. And part of the discussion, Chris Murphy, Di-Fi, Amy Klobuchar, they wanted to talk about gun control and removing people's access to guns, raising the age to
Did you see
all
that?
So that was one part about it. But the other part about it were members of Congress, including House Majority Whip Steve Scalise, who made the case for concealed carry. And if this is about public safety, then one thing that could potentially enhance public safety is concealed carry reciprocity across states, because as we know, concealed carry makes communities safer.
Appreciate, Mr. President, you convening everybody. Thank you, Senator Corner, my whip counterpart. The House did pass a bill, the bill dealing with fixing problems with our background check system. We also combined with it a bill that advanced concealed carry reciprocity. In other words, people that have concealed carry permits in one state being able to have that same ability in another state with concealed carry laws that are on the books. And before that's immediately discounted, because I know when we passed our bill, there was, number one, I did have to whip that bill. It wasn't a bill that just automatically passed. And there were a lot of our members that said, look, we want to close these problems and fix these problems with the background check system. And we came together and actually passed a bill. But we also felt that if you look at the concealed carry population, these are people by and large who are helping us stop crimes. These are people who are well-trained, who actually go out there and help prevent crimes. So I would hope that that's not immediately dismissed, because there is a lot of talk of just putting that on the side and
But
just
Steve, I do think this. You know I'm your biggest fan of the whole world, all right? I think that maybe that bill will someday pass, but it should pass as a separate. If you're going to put concealed carry between states into this bill, we're talking about a whole new ballgame. And, you know, I'm with you, but let it be a separate bill.
You think the president is right, rather than leveraging this moment to enhance safety on the law-abiding citizen side of the discussion? That's something that should be done separately, because he doesn't want to jeopardize things like raising the age requirement for persons to buy a rifle. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
And then there's this. I mean, President Trump talked about taking the guns first, then going through due process second. And this has to do with people who are mentally unstable.
But we have to do something very decisive. Number one, you can take the guns away immediately from people that you can adjudge easily are mentally ill, like this guy. You know, the police saw that he was a problem. They didn't take any guns away. Now, that could have been policing. I think they should have taken them away anyway, whether they had the right or not. But I'll tell you this, you have to have very strong provisions for the mentally ill. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, I shouldn't be saying that. I'll tell you what, I don't want mentally ill people to be having guns. Marco?
I don't want mentally ill people to be having guns either.
Me neither.
But the President of the United States should never say whether the police have the right or not. That is a phrase that should never be uttered by an actor, a state actor. Or even more importantly, that shouldn't be part of what's pursued. That shouldn't be the kind of cultural or philosophical foundation from where a politician, much less the President of the United States, is operating. That's not. You can't get away with saying something like that in a flippant manner. It's too serious, particularly in this context. Whether they had the right or not. Really?
I know.
If that doesn't make you uncomfortable, then I don't think you have a full appreciation for how precarious our freedoms are.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
And just continuing on, though, with this this notion of gun-free zones, the notion of the instrumentality with which bad people use to hurt people or good people use to protect people. And we have short memories, so let's take a walk in the not-too-distant past to Sutherland Springs, Texas. Remember that shooting at that church?
Yes.
26 dead. Scott
It hardly got any coverage. I mean,
well, no, come on, it got coverage. I
but
mean, come
not.
on. But there were two heroes in that case, you'll remember, who engaged the shooter, Johnny Langendorf and Stephen Williford. Stephen Williford, former NRA instructor. Here's Stephen Williford, one of the heroes in Sutherland Springs, just to refresh your recollection.
All I want to stress today is the people at that church, they're friends of mine, their family. And every time I heard a shot, I knew that probably represented a life. I was scared to death. I was. I was scared for me, and I was scared for every one of them, and I was scared for my own family that just lived less than a block away. I'm no hero. I am not. I think my God, my Lord, protected me and gave me the skills to do what needed to be done. And I just wish I could have gotten there faster, but I didn't know. I didn't know what was happening.
I wish Stephen Williford had been in Parkland, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Williford armed himself with an AR assault rifle and engaged the suspect. They engaged in gunfire at the church. The suspect was shot when he dropped his assault rifle, jumped in his Ford Expedition, and fled the scene, at which point Williford and Johnny Langendorf gave chase before the police ultimately arrived on the scene. So does Stephen Williford get to keep his AR? Does the gentleman out in Oswego who stopped a knife attack the other day with his AR, does he get to keep it? I mean, honestly. Yeah. And is he going to be, should they be constricted to 24 rounds a year in their ARs, as they do in Serbia? By the way, point of order, little historical note, Serbia, the model that you like to use, 24 rounds of ammunition a year.
That's what they hand out.
Yeah. That was also the site of a genocide.
Yes, it was.
I wonder if maybe you did a little bit of a review of totalitarian states in the 20th century.
I remember the Bosnia-Herzegovina War, too.
Well, right.
Later.
Yes. Tell me if you know of anything in common with totalitarian regimes of the 20th century, the most murderous regimes in the history of the world, what Hitler and Stalin and Pol Pot and other despots did as a first order of business.
They took everyone's guns away. They went door to door and confiscated their weapons.
And so...
We're not asking for confiscation of weapons. President Trump just wants to raise the purchasing age. No one's going to be going door to door and saying, "Hand them over."
No,
want your handguns.
No, there's no asking.
Want your assault
That's
rifles.
for sure. In Illinois, yesterday passed a gun dealer licensing bill that creates a administrative body with open-ended rulemaking authority. You don't think they could mandate a gun registry? You don't think that's the perspective of the Chicago Democrats in control of this state?
There's a way they can get revenue and a tax associated with it. They'll do it.
And a lot of surrender Republicans, too. So we're just going to we don't want to connect dots that are linear and have historical context in terms of lessons learned from the past. We don't want to do that. We're just going to wait till it happens and then decry it when it does. Kurt in Brookfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. I kind of want to make 3 points. You have the liberals that want the gun-free zones, guns confiscation, yet at the same time they don't want border security and they want illegal immigration. And you look at countries like Mexico and Brazil that have very strict gun laws, yet they have gangs, 20, 30 people running around with fully automatic weapons. Cartels seem to be able to get anything. They're transporting the drugs into this country, so why isn't weapons going to come in? So you're only going to have the criminals with the weapons. And at the same time, they're the ones constantly trying to fight for not to keep these people in prison on these gun charges, or when they do go to court, the first thing they kind of bargain off to get plea deals is the gun charge. So where you want to defend at one point saying taking away the weapons, but at the same time, you're not taking away the power of the drug cartels and the criminals to get the weapons.
Thanks for the call, Kurt. Dan in Libertyville.
Hello. I've been a lifelong Illinois resident, and what I have found is that people who do not own firearms and have never, say, been in the military and fired one, do not have any more understanding of how a firearm works or why a person would need one for defense than they understand domestic violence victims and how they feel and what they need to feel safe. When you've never been a victim, you don't feel the need to have something to defend yourself with.
That's
and
a
when
good...
you've never even fired a weapon, you don't even know what you're talking about because you've never even had one in your hands.
It's a good point, Dan. There's no question that ignorance abounds, and
Well, people are scared of something they don't know.
yeah, ignorance abounds, and they don't, and so many politicians don't seem to feel the need to inform themselves at all. They just feel the need to fuel people's passions, however fact-free they are. They're demagogues. They're dangerous, actually, these politicians. And by the way, I just can't recommend enough this David French piece in The Atlantic yesterday that we've talked about the gun, about America's gun culture. Very personal walk through his life and the life of his wife, who was is a survivor of a sexual assault. In addition to just how he tracks his own, and he served in the military, but in the JAG Corps, but how he tracks his own evolution as a law-abiding gun owner. And it spoke to me thinking about when I first got exposed to guns and then to the present. And I think it really does provide some insights for people that have otherwise no clue. Grant in Rockford.
Yeah, good morning, guys. You know, this mental disorder thing is a slippery slope. You got, a Harvard professor wrote an op-ed a few weeks ago calling conservatism a mental disorder. So as long as the wrong people are pulling the switches, calling what's a disorder, who's to say who's mentally ill? So,
thanks for the call. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And as far as the 21 thing goes, Amy, so what? These kids are mature enough to join the military, to go off and get killed, to be able to vote for the future of this country, but we're going to tell them that they can't buy a gun. You can't have it both ways. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, Grant.
Or you could do what they do in Serbia, and if you are in the military and you're 18, you can, if you show that ID, you can purchase a.
We really need to be more like Serbia.
I'm just saying, if you're enrolled in the Army, if you're a member of the armed forces, then you have a military ID card, and then you can purchase a weapon if you're under 21.
I mean, should we scrap our Constitution and just kind of follow Serbia's lead in terms of how to organize society? I mean,
you can ask him to make some amendments to our Constitution.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You wrote Japan's Constitution.
Serbs may have some good ideas. But to Grant's point about the rights here, it's not just Second Amendment rights; it's also due process rights too, Fifth Amendment rights. Lewis in Texas.
Good morning, Dan. Name, how you doing this morning?
Good.
I wanted to comment about a little bit about the mental disorder. First of all, I think a lot of people that claim, once they start shooting up and they claim, they have a mental disorder, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's kind of like a default fallback thing so they can use during their plea defense. But I wanted to know, if that be the case, how are they going to justify and how are they going to find out who has a mental disorder and severities? Because myself being a military member, I've been blown up a couple times and I've been diagnosed with traumatic brain injury as well as PTSD. And a lot of my friends have been diagnosed with some of the same symptoms, but yet, I have lots of guns, but yet you've never heard about me going to a school, shooting up a school or a building or a lot of places like that, and a lot of veterans that do have guns, unfortunately they do only harm themselves when they do take their own lives. You don't ever hear about them blowing up or shooting up a school or doing anything of that nature. So how are you going to, justify and tell me you're going to take away my gun when I'm, one of the people that have, I have what's considered a mental disorder, but, I'm not a violent person.
You're a competent person, right. Yeah, thanks for the call, Lewis, and for your service again. And by the way, just in terms of what can happen, Michelle Mussman's bill, she's one of these fungible suburban Democrats from Schaumburg. Those under 21 would have to turn in their guns. She wants to confiscate guns and argued for confiscation on the floor of the Illinois House yesterday. So you want the Illinois State Police to come for your guns? No. You want the state police to come for the guns of 18-year-olds, who shoot with their dads or whatever? That's what you want? That's what they're proposing. Don't tell me that the gun registry is or confiscation is some kind of right-wing conspiracy. It's being argued on the Illinois State House floor by Democrat legislators yesterday.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. American Airlines fighting expansion of O'Hare Airport. A Diet Coke suit fizzles out and the latest jobless claims. Those stories next.
You like freedom? I do. You like money? Well, I do too. If you like freedom and money, then you're going to love Freedom Checks. You see, over the next few months, an estimated $34.6 billion is up for grabs to anyone who stakes their claim. Yep, you heard that right, $34.6 billion. To get all the details, just go to www.myfreedomchecks.com. Thousands of people are already lined up to cash in. Take Doug, for example. He's a 46-year-old from Joplin, Missouri, who's set to get a check for $24,075. And if Doug can do this, I've got a hunch that you can too. But here's the thing. If you want the chance to grab your full fair share of this $34.6 billion payout, you must have your ducks in a row by March 1st. So don't wait. Get over to www.myfreedomchecks.com before the March 1st deadline. That's www.myfreedomchecks.com.
American Airlines fighting Chicago's $8.5 billion plan to expand O'Hare Airport. American says that plan gives an unfair advantage to O'Hare's biggest carrier, United. A California federal judge has thrown out a lawsuit filed by a woman claiming Diet Coke is anything but diet. The court ruled the woman failed to prove her claim that it actually leads to weight gain. First, a chicken shortage forcing KFC to shutter hundreds of restaurants in the UK temporarily. Now, a disruption in the gravy supply line forcing many of those reopened restaurants to offer limited menus. Fed Chair Jerome Powell heads to Capitol Hill today for his semi-annual monetary policy statement, and we get our first look at the latest jobless claims. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we're going to talk to a Republican state rep candidate who's suing the Illinois House Republican organization for defamation at 7:07.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this story.
It's a great one, and it actually has implications up and down the ballot because it's what Rauner and Rauner's Republican Party does to anybody who's not with them. They're all tools of Madigan. So Marco Sukovic, who's running in the 59th district, which is kind of the Carol Sente district, Buffalo Grove area. Be interesting conversation at 7:07.
All right, but first let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
New misconduct allegations against Dorothy Brown. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Who's afraid of the NRA? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I'm the guy that stood up to the NRA among Republicans.
Senator Pat Toomey, after President Trump suggested he and other lawmakers fear the gun rights group at a meeting yesterday. Toomey's pushing for expanded background checks.
The bill, the first part is to improve the information that's in the background check system. The second part is to require a background check for commercial sales, that is to say at a gun show or over the intranet.
That's not the only proposal they discussed at the meeting of lawmakers from both parties. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, President Trump suggested taking guns away from people who suffer mental illness and waved off concerns about due process rights.
Take the firearms first and then go to court.
The president also said he supports raising the age to buy long guns to 21 and said he would stop the sale of bump stocks.
What surprises me more than anything else is that nothing's been done for all these years.
President Trump also surprised Republicans by pushing back on adding a national concealed carry provision to a gun control measure. Dave?
Now, Rachel, the president just tweeted there were some good and not so good ideas. He'll have another meeting today on school safety. It's another half-day of school starting at Stoneman Douglas High in Parkland, Florida, the day after students return for the first time, where Fox's Matt Finn says sources tell him
the commanding officer during the day of the shooting gave premature orders to deputies to stage outside or form a perimeter outside instead of urging or allowing those deputies to immediately rush inside to neutralize the shooter.
The Sheriff's Department and the FBI also under scrutiny for handling warnings about Nicholas Cruz being dangerous. President Trump just tweeted that our steel and aluminum industries have been decimated by unfair trade. And there are reports the Trump administration will announce today new tariffs on imports. The White House needs a new communications director. Hope Hicks is leaving days after testifying in the House Intelligence Committee's Russia probe that she's told white lies for the president. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Rain showers, 40 degrees. At 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. New documentation this morning filed by federal prosecutors detailing more allegations of misconduct against Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown. An employee told investigators the going rate to buy a job in the clerk's office was $10,000. That bribe was paid to another staff worker who served as Brown's personal bagman. Brown has been the target of an ongoing corruption investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office. There will be extra security patrolling Chicago's Loop beginning today. The Chicago Loop Alliance has hired 2 armed security guards to patrol State Street between Wacker and Congress. They'll be on duty Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays for 8 hours each day. For all the back and forth over guns at the Illinois Capitol, just one proposed law will be headed to the governor's desk. Both the Illinois House and Senate yesterday approved a wave of gun control plans, but just one, a proposal to create a state-issued license for smaller gun dealers, could become law soon. One man is dead following a fire in Flossmoor, the blaze breaking out yesterday in a home near Collette Lane and Dixie Highway. The cause of that fire is under investigation. There's a lot of interest in Illinois' new scholarship program for elementary and high school kids. Empower Illinois, the group that is managing Illinois' new tax credit scholarship program, yesterday said that 33,000 families asked for a scholarship on the first day of applications. Tuesday was actually the second attempt at offering the scholarships. First try back in January was so popular it crashed Empower's website. The Bears are parting ways with quarterback Mike Glennon and linebacker Willie Young when the league's new year begins on March 14. Fighting Illini lost to Iowa in round 1 of the Big Ten basketball tournament, 96-87. Northwestern will tackle Penn State tonight in a second-round matchup. The news service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil is on sale for $5.99 a quart. That's Napa know-how. General States prices do not include applicable state or local taxes or recycling fees. 7:04, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If your to-do list is long but you're short on time, get the amazing Tackle app. For house cleaning, yard work, hanging TVs, washing windows, or hauling off junk, Tackle can save the day. The concept is simple. Tackle connects you with background check providers who can help with simple chores. The Tackle app has hundreds of pre-priced chores. If you have a unique chore, there's a cool custom job feature. Download the Tackle app today and get $50 off your first job. That's TAKL. Get your to-do list done with Tackle.
When hiring, you don't have time to waste. You need to get to a short list of qualified candidates fast. That's why you need Indeed.com. Daryl is hired with Indeed.
Using the site saves me a lot of time. It makes my job so much easier.
Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive dashboard. Your time is precious. Let Indeed help you get to your short list of qualified candidates. Post a job at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Daspin and Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was always just sort of feeling tired. And so I said, maybe this will just help in overall vitality. But in the past couple of years that I've been taking it, I find my energy has been great. I've been sleeping better. I don't get the cravings for junk food as often as I used to. I really attribute it to the product. It's so easy to use. Even if I want to take a capsule for my daughter and I just pull it apart to mix it in some juice or something, it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to incorporate. I really love the product. I think it's made such a difference.
Generally feel better, generally have better energy and more stamina. Breathing is easier, walking is easier. You're not in pain anymore, all right? I could go on and on.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
7:07 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound heavy Niles Center to Montrose, 36 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 40. Crash at Toohey in the left lane. Got Kennedy heavy all the way in, 58 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 28 from Montrose, 25 on the express. Outbound 33 minutes to Montrose, an hour to O'Hare. Got Eisenhower, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown, 53 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 50 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 18 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, an hour from the Tri-State. Outbound 40 minutes to 355. Ryan, 34 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, now 40 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford, an hour and 5 minutes. Northbound Tri-State's slow, Cicero to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Adams Tollway okay. Reagan Tollway slow, Farnsworth to Washington. Veterans Memorial from Boughton to the Reagan Tollway. Butterfield to Roosevelt. And from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Northwest Indiana's wet, but otherwise okay. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today breezy and cool with periods of rain mixing with snow, high 42, becoming partly cloudy tonight, low 30. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high 44, and a clear night tomorrow night with a low 28. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
38 at O'Hare, 37 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by the Townstone Financial Show, Saturday afternoons at 1. Nobody values your mortgage business like Townstone. Listen and call for the best advice.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and we're just less than 3 weeks away from the March 20th primary election.
That's right. Today is March 1st, everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I just found out about that, too.
Just found out about the calendar.
Yeah, I'm all over firearms and fashion today, folks.
Yeah, and so it's not just the governor's race. Of course, there's a bunch of legislative primaries up and down the ballot are races where Republicans and Democrats will weigh in with their votes. And in Chicago, you don't even have to be a citizen, and you can do it. That's how open-minded and empty-headed we are here. This story, though, is a fascinating one. Marko Sukovic is running for state representative, 59th House seat. This is like Lincolnshire, Buffalo Grove area. It's a seat currently held by Democrat Carol Sente, who is not seeking re-election, so it's an open seat. He's running in a Republican primary. And since I'm involved in so many Republican primaries with a super PAC in my private life, nothing to do with the radio station, I just want to make it clear I'm not involved in this race. Marko Sukovic Karen Feldman are the two candidates for the Republican nomination. I have not participated with either of their campaigns.
Okay.
So just to make that clear.
Duly noted.
Sukovic is a 22-year-old who's actually nearing graduation at the University of Illinois. So, it's a bit aggressive run for state rep while you're still finishing up school, but that's all well and good. He's suing, he's suing his opponent, but the suit is really directed at the House Republican organization because that's who's financing his opponent. This is the organization headed by Surrender Republican leader Jim Durkin. And he's suing over mailers that link him to Mike Madigan.
Oh, well, then Jeannie Ives could file a lawsuit, too. Everybody should file a lawsuit because everybody, I don't know if you know this, but we're linked to Mike Madigan, too.
If you're not a toady of Rauner and Durkin and Brady and the Rauner Republican Party establishment, then you're a tool of Mike Madigan. So you choose.
Well, that's interesting. So he's a defamation of character lawsuit?
He's seeking injunctive relief as well as monetary damages. I mean, the standard for a public official to sue for defamation is extremely high. You have to prove actual malice. But in this case, he may have a case. And so we're pleased to be joined by Marko Sukovic to discuss his case. Marko, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Guys, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And so the genesis of the lawsuit, what are the kinds of mailers and other campaign material that House Republicans have been putting out against you?
Well, it's a series of mailers. There's about 4 of them. They make a series of honestly, they're preposterous statements about my campaign, my associations, the people that have decided to support this effort. They suggest that I've taken tens and thousands of dollars from Mike Madigan's closest allies. And just, I wish I had that kind of money laying around.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you taken tens of thousands of dollars from anyone?
No, I can't say that I have, actually. But, what we've done is we've gone out and raised, right now we're close to around $18,000, money that we've gotten from the community, and these are people that are grassroots leaders. These are people that have gone out and made a name for themselves here locally because they're passionate about, turning the state around. That's who we're interested in getting the support of, not some interest group or something like that.
And when you push back against these mailers, did you get any response from the House Republican organization that's financing them?
They didn't really directly respond to our lawsuit. They made some other kind of comments, just trying to get some publicity themselves out of it because I think that it just looks really bad.
Well,
for them.
Yeah, you must be doing well if they're putting out Mike Madigan mailers and connecting you with him.
Oh, I'm sure they have some concern. I mean, take a look at over the course of the last couple of weeks here. They've done radio ads. They've done several mailers. They've done, recently they did a poll. They've spent and invested probably over $42,000, and that number is going to tick up more to try to put away a 22-year-old who's running for state representative. So if they're concerned, they should be.
It's fascinating, and this is without comment on your opponent, but it is fascinating. You make the point about 22-year-old conservative wants to run for state rep. You're not out there attacking anybody. This is a party that is not exactly robust in its current form in the state, does not have a surplus of young people that it doesn't know what to do with. And to be treated this way by the power structure of Rauner's Republican Party, what do you think that portends for other people like in your age cohort wanting to get involved?
What I'll say is that's what this campaign is about. It's about encouraging young people to have a seat at the table. If you don't have a seat at the table, you're going to be on the menu. How many times do you hear that?
Yeah.
And young people are leading this exodus out of the state of Illinois. And my campaign is about bringing an optimistic message about the Republican Party and what it can offer the 59th District. So to see opposition from the party itself to a message like that, I think it's very short-sighted.
Is this your first time?
It doesn't really have the long-term goals in mind.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you. Is this your first time running for office?
It is. It is the first time I've ever run for any particular position. I've been familiar with the process. I've had experience working in the community in the past with my congressman and doing some other things. But this is, the first time I've ever run. So
And I can attest to these mailers that were sent out to you. These are cut and paste mailers. The point is, the House Republicans, number one, they're bad at what they do. Number two, they're lazy and visionless, and then they're unnecessarily antagonistic. Thus, the actual division in the party is driven by the likes of Jim Durkin and his minions. These are cut and paste jobs. It's like Valentine's Day mailer they put out against you, where it's like you and Mike Madigan like sending each other Valentine's Day cards because you're so close. I mean,
Right. It's so ridiculous.
They put it out against Mickey Straub, who's running against Durkin. These are cut and paste mailers. Just understand something, and this is, as you said, Amy, this is Ives. This is all. If you're not a functionary of Jim Durkin and Bill Brady and Tim Schneider and Bruce Rauner in the Republican Party, then you are a tool of Madigan. That's the binary they want people to believe. And it's really the predicate for a purge of conservatives from the party. So if that's what you want to do, purge conservatives from the party, then fall in line with these hatchet jobs like Marco is enduring up in the 59th.
Well, here's what I'll say about that. You know, if you're going to run a campaign, run your campaign on the merits. You know, hit me on some things that I think most voters could expect to see. And, you know, I'm more than happy to discuss those issues. But again, they're not interested in having that robust dialogue. But, you know, here's what I'll say about my campaign. We've been out there knocking on doors every day since we announced, making phone calls. Recently, we picked up the endorsement of the Chicago Tribune. You know, we've built real momentum here. And, again, this is about building an infrastructure that for our party, at least in Lake County, that should last longer than, you know, one election or two election cycles. So again, very short-sighted tactics.
So with that support that you're generating, do you think Mike Madigan will now get involved and give you some money?
No, I doubt that he'd give me any money. The policies that I'm looking in, the program that I would like to bring to Springfield would be something that drastically undermined the amount of power that he had.
Have you ever even met Mike Madigan?
I've never been in the same zip code as him. So again, that just adds to this layer of just how ridiculous some of these statements were. It doesn't even pass the laugh test.
You know, the other thing about this is it's boogeyman politics, right? I know somebody you don't like, so I'm going to attach somebody I'm against to that person. That's that's the deep thinking that goes on. But it also says something about what the Rauner Republican Party thinks of Republicans. They must think everybody's a moron, because if they believe that they want and expect people to believe that you're a tool of Mike Madigan, just as the other candidates are that they're running the same program against.
Well, it absolutely, I think, is an assault of the intelligence of everyone that lives in the 59th district, especially Republican primary voters who are educated. They'll do the research on their own, and we're running a campaign that's putting out our information as well, and they're going to have a choice to make. And I think the more they know, the clearer the decision becomes. And that's why, you know, we've laid out a bold fiscal conservative agenda. People are going to our website, marcoforillinois.com. They're signing up. They're getting engaged. That's what this is about, not about taking cheap shots or trying to undermine some good Republicans from trying to move the ball forward.
And you're also moving forward with this lawsuit, this seeking injunctive relief as well as monetary damages, correct?
That's right. So the initial hearing is going to be actually tomorrow.
All right. Marco Sukovic, candidate for the Republican nomination for state rep in the 59th district. This, again, is like the Lincolnshire, Buffalo Grove area. Marco, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck with the campaign.
Thank you.
He joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line, but we're going to take some phone calls.
Yeah, let's go to Carla in Chicago Heights right quick. Hi, Carla.
Hey, Dan. How are you? Good morning, Amy. As a 61-year-old grandmother, Republican, pro-life person, I think it's sickening that we eat our young and now we're attacking this fine young man who's stepping up to the plate. I think anybody who would attack a 22-year-old who wants to be involved in civics and politics in this state and proudly say he's a Republican, those people are sick.
Yeah.
And we should support him. And thank you very much, Dan and Amy, for having him on your show this morning.
Thank you, Carla. And,
He seems like a fine gentleman.
There's always a reason why the things are the way they are. And so there is a reason why Rauner will not be the governor after 2018, why the Illinois Republican Party is a super minority party. There are reasons. It's not that complicated.
You've made the switch. and it feels so good. You switch to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Picture your son in 10 years. What kind of man do you hope to see? I know you want your son to be a man of character. It's Dan Proft, and I urge you to consider Northridge Prep, ranked the #1 best all-boys school in Illinois for 2 years running, and a top 100 high school in America from U.S. News. Don't miss their open house on March 25th. Northridge Prep is an independent Catholic school for boys in grades 6 through 12 located in Niles. There's no brainwashing that's prevalent elsewhere. They instill the traditional values that you hold as parents. Northridge Prep is all boys with an all-male faculty. They celebrate your son's natural enthusiasm and energy. It's a good place to be a boy. Every teacher is a great role model who gets to the hearts of their students. Their demanding liberal arts curriculum produces well-rounded men with the ability to think for themselves. Grads go on to the best universities, including the Ivy League, and have top athletics and arts programs. I strongly encourage you to attend Northridge Prep's open house on March 25th. To learn more, visit northridgeprep.org. That's northridgeprep.org.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshawforcongress.com.
As a business owner, you have hundreds of decisions to make on a daily basis. It's beyond needing to pay bills, keeping employees happy, or what the next step is to grow your business. Part of your stress can be making sure you're protected in a time of crisis. Can you trust that your insurance provider is going to be there when you need them most? When you're looking for a partner who's there for you in your most desperate times, call Insure with Us. You won't have to wait on hold to talk to an agent who's unfamiliar with your policy. Speak directly to who wrote your policy when you have any urgent question or need. Don't hesitate. Get it done today. Get a free quote in less than 24 hours at lowcostinsurance.biz. Choose from dozens of top insurers across the U.S. Insure with Us focuses on finding you the best coverage for your business and for your family. Visit them today at lowcostinsurance.biz. Insure with Us. Coverage for the things that matter most. The following is a paid political announcement.
Career politicians put jobs in Mexico ahead of jobs in Muncie. Jobs in Beijing ahead of Bloomington. And when our jobs disappeared, the insiders sat on their hands and did nothing. Businessman and outsider Mike Braun is running for U.S. Senate to bring Indiana jobs back. Family man, businessman, Christian, Mike Braun created hundreds of jobs here in Indiana. As senator, Mike Braun will help pass President Trump's agenda. Braun will repeal Obamacare once and for all, defund dangerous sanctuary cities, and finally build the wall. And Mike Braun will protect the right to life and stand up for our values. No more career politicians. Businessman, outsider, conservative. We need Mike Braun in the United States Senate. He puts Indiana and America first.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
It's tax season. Are you prepared? Do you need help? It's time to call your trusted tax advisor, Timothy C. Wolf, who's a CPA with over 35 years' experience in tax planning and preparation. Tim is knowledgeable about the current as well as the new 2018 tax legislation. Tim will complete your return while you wait, where possible, or in as little as 48 hours. And he'll have your tax return electronically filed with any refund being directly deposited to your account. As a Food for the Poor business benefactor, Tim challenges new and existing clients to contribute to Food for the Poor, with any new client contributions matched up to $50. Call 846 847-818-0400 to schedule an appointment. All new clients will receive a 20% discount off their 2017 tax preparation fees, as well as a free review of your past 3 tax returns. 1 in 3 reviews have resulted in refunds up to $50,000. Now is the time to call or text Tim at 847-818-0400 to schedule your appointment, or go to timwolfcpa.com to find out more.
Jeannie Ives might be Mike Madigan's favorite Republican. The Madigan machine has bankrolled Ives with thousands of dollars in shady labor union cash, turning Jeannie Ives into another Mike Madigan lackey. Listen to Ives defend Madigan.
Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook. Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook.
Instead of attacking Madigan's corrupt ways like Bruce Rauner, Jeannie Ives defends Madigan.
He's picking on Mike Madigan again. He's picking on Mike Madigan again.
Ives won't even commit to immediate repeal of the Madigan income tax hike.
You need legislator approval to repeal that, obviously, so you'd have to have them decide to do that, to repeal it, right? I can't guarantee what the legislator is going to send me in the bill.
Jeannie Ives, guaranteed to defend and defer to Mike Madigan.
I don't think that's any way to deal with the powerful Speaker of the House, Mike Madigan.
Paid for by Citizens for Rauner, Inc.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Sean Hannity is right. IRS problems can be devastating. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here on this station every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. And I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. I know you want a local attorney you could look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So if you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, or visit your home or job, and now they can take your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good. Today, I have a special bonus. If you are one of the first 25 to call and hire me to solve your IRS problem, we will prepare your 2017 tax returns for free. Call me, attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649. Again, that's 312-664-6649. One more time, 312-664-6649. Or visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. Don't wait. Call me now and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
With so many homeowners fearful of poor service and not knowing who to trust, home remodeling is often delayed. But do you ever wonder why so many remodeling experiences go so wrong? Advanced Design Studio thinks remodeling shouldn't be so painful. Will the project stay on budget and be done on time? If you're nervous about home remodeling, you're not alone. Whether you're contemplating a new kitchen or bath, want an addition to your home, or in need of a whole house transformation, Advanced Design Studio is the company to call. They understand your fears and know how to overcome them. Backed by 25 years of producing positive remodeling experiences, Advanced Design's client service process, called Common Sense Remodeling, averts remodeling project delays, budget overruns, and produces a rewarding remodeling experience. Make this the year you overcome your fears and remodel your home, bath, or kitchen. Don't be a bad remodeling story. Use common sense and visit AdvancedDesignStudio.com for more information or call 847-836-2600.
What's on your mind right now? Is it, do I really want this donut? Yes, you want that donut, and you want a muffin too. Now that I've mentioned donuts and muffins, I'm sure you're thinking about your body, specifically your stomach. Are there a few pounds that you wish you could lose? Maybe some inches? At Galatran, we believe there is no right or wrong way to look. We desire to help everyone see the most beautiful version of themselves.
Hi, my name is Ann, and I've lost about 30 pounds, and it makes me sleep wonderful at night.
My name's Jason. I've lost over 40 pounds using Calitrin. It's helped me maintain my weight loss over a long period of time.
Not only is Calitrin proven to help people reach their weight loss and health goals, but with every purchase, you receive exclusive access to a team of healthcare professionals, coaches, and nutritionists to support you every step of the way. So stop letting your mind bully your body. Visit us on the web at toploss.com or call us at 1-833-TOP-LOSS. After all, your body loves you, so love it back.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Emails about the deaths at the Quincy Veterans Home that Governor Rauner doesn't want you to see, but that WBEZ obtained. And then an op-ed in the Washington Examiner, somebody who voted for Governor Rauner, hoping he was going to get Scott Walker. Instead, he ended up with Pat Quinn's second term. That's at 7:37.
And later, a company has done something Congress has not. We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Rain and 40 degrees. White House Communications Director Hope Hicks is set to resign in the coming weeks. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders confirmed the move. Jury selection begins this morning in the trial of the widow of the gunman who police say killed dozens at a Florida nightclub. Nora Salam's trial will be held in federal court in Orlando. Selection begins later today. The case hinges on whether Nor Salman knowingly helped Omar Mateen plan the 2016 attack at the Pulse nightclub that killed 49. Russia boasting it's tested an array of new strategic nuclear weapons that cannot be intercepted. President Vladimir Putin announcing today they've marked a technological breakthrough that could dramatically increase Russia's military capability. Motorists are being warned to stay off Northern California mountain roads as a major winter storm is expected to bring heavy snow. Meantime, flash flooding is possible near Southern California's wildfire burn scars later in the week. Police say a 1-year-old boy has died after being found inside of a car parked at a shopping plaza where witnesses said his mother works at a beauty salon. Temperatures in Miami were in the lower 80s on Wednesday. And you think you've got red light camera problems. Now, Rhode Island City has issued 12,000 speeding tickets in 33 days. It's a new red light camera school zone speed camera program. The 12,193 tickets were issued in Providence between January 16 and February 22nd from 5 speed cameras. Now, those tickets are $95 each. Total charge for violators, $1.15 million. Records show the city has already collected $375,000 of that money. State lawmakers approved those cameras in 2016. Stories we're following here in Chicago. New documents filed by federal prosecutors are detailing more allegations of misconduct by Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown. There will be extra security patrolling Chicago's Loop beginning today. The Chicago Loop Alliance has hired armed security guards to patrol State Street between Wacker Drive and Congress Parkway. Chicago sports, the Bears will part ways with quarterback Mike Glennon and release linebacker Willie Young. Big Ten basketball at the tournament. The Fighting Illini lose to Iowa. Northwestern plays Penn State later on tonight. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil is on sale for $5.99 a quart. That's Napa know-how. General States prices do not include applicable state or local taxes or recycling fees. 7:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
14 cops have been shot and killed since the beginning of the year.
The Joe Walsh Show.
People in America are finding it way too easy to take shots at cops. And I don't believe it will stop until the silent majority of Americans wakes up and goes out and shows their support for our police officers.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
If we don't, nobody will.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897. The following is a paid political announcement.
Career politicians put jobs in Mexico ahead of jobs in Muncie, jobs in Beijing ahead of Bloomington. And when our jobs disappeared, the insiders sat on their hands and did nothing. Businessman and outsider Mike Braun is running for U.S. Senate to bring Indiana jobs back. Family man, businessman, Christian, Mike Braun created hundreds of jobs here in Indiana. As senator, Mike Braun will help pass President Trump's agenda. Braun will repeal Obamacare once and for all, defund dangerous sanctuary cities, and finally build the wall. And Mike Braun will protect the right to life and stand up for our values. No more career politicians. Businessman, outsider, conservative. We need Mike Braun in the United States Senate. He puts Indiana and America first.
I'm Mike Braun, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Mike Braun for Indiana.
7:36 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. We're now seeing delays on the Tri-State Tollway southbound from 21 to 176. Northbound still jammed Cicero Avenue to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Reagan Tollway slow going now 31 to Yackley, Highland of the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial delays from Alton most to the way to Roosevelt, and from the Army Trail toll to 290. Eden's 29 minutes Lake Cook Junction, outbound 35 after a crash at Dewey. Kennedy, an hour and 19 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 44 minutes from Montrose, 40 in the Express. Outbound an hour to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 14 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 57 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and a half, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 44 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Traffic service, Match.com. Dating can be fun, but ready for a real relationship, ready for Match. Go to Match.com/love for 7 days free. This free offer is only at Match.com/love. Match.com/love. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Breezy and cooler today. Periods of rain will mix with snow. Will top out at 44. Partly cloudy and 30 overnight. 38 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Financial Planning with Jack Taboda, your 401k rollover specialist. Heard Saturday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy comes your way now. And make sure to join me, Larry Elder, tonight at 7, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, this Illinois Veterans Home in Quincy saga just gets worse and worse the more information comes out, which I guess shouldn't surprise me after 13 deaths over 2.5 years, and still people are getting sick.
Right, 56 people contracted Legionella 2 and didn't die.
There's 4 new cases in the last week.
Well, I don't understand why they don't just move the folks from that home, shut that place down, start over.
I don't either. Nobody does, except because you have the governor and his administrative personnel trying to cover their asses. This story from WBEZ, very good reporting. They got 1,400 emails going back to the summer of 2015 when this all started. Actually, arguably, and I'll read an email, it perhaps was known by by some of the staff there in the spring of 2015. Give you an example. This is August of 2015. The Miller family approved and waited 2 days for the test results to find out whether Eugene Miller, the 86-year-old U.S. Army veteran, had contracted Legionnaire's disease. They learned on August 28, 2015, that he tested positive for that waterborne form of pneumonia Along with the news came word from the home of 3 previous Legionnaires' cases dating back to July of 2015. Just 4 hours after the family got the test results, Eugene Miller died. Emails would later reveal that at the time of his death, the state had known for nearly a week that it was dealing with a Legionnaire's epidemic at the home. A day after his death, Eugene Miller's son, Tim, sat down and composed a message on Facebook. My father is one of the 2 who passed away at the vet's home. I know you're not responsible with how they handle things, but it's been really devastating to know that our choices for my dad's care would have been different if we knew about the Legionnaires. We did not find out that my dad had it until 4 hours before he died. We have to deal with the fact that maybe we didn't do all we could have. The situation was handled badly, to say the least, but the lack of communication, in my mind, killed my father, a hero who served this country only to die in its care. I hope no other families have to sit and watch their loved one die in the same way we did, and then come to find out it may have all been prevented. And 12 more people did die. This is remarkable, and it is remarkable how little coverage this is getting. Why? Because it's in Quincy?
4 hours away, yeah. Honestly, I go to those editorial board meetings in the morning, and they just decide who goes where, and that's far away. Got to get a satellite truck out there, a lot of overtime, got to get a room. I mean,
There are 11 pending negligence lawsuits against the state by families of victims. There's been, hearings on this, and as you just mentioned, Amy, hearings on it, and what's being done? People are continuing to get sick. Is this that complicated? Tim Miller, after being availed of all the emails that WBEZ was able to pull together, which detail how officials at the various responsible state agencies knew about this, and they were more concerned about PR and getting positive stories out and about how, all they were doing and about, again, covering their backsides than they were about addressing the problem. Tim Miller said this after being shown the emails. What angers me most about the situation, they're putting all this effort into PR, giving each other pats on the back. Great job. Way to go, team. Let's come up with some canned statement. Let's be all on the same page. Basically, it was like they drew a line in the sand that says, it's us against these grieving families. To go through all of that effort to rebut a grieving son's Facebook message, which I read to you, when we were burying my dad is inexcusable. And again, it just goes to show their concern at the time. It was not for families and the sick, but it was for how they looked and one-upping us and rebutting our grief. Miller, this is Tim Miller, again, the son of Eugene Miller, who voted for Rauner in 2014, he said, feels let down by Rauner's handling of the crisis. I'm disappointed in how he tries to just make this situation no big deal, how everything is just sunny skies, blue skies, and terrific. And we're still here 2+ years after my father's death with the same questions. Ultimately, that's what we're looking for. A hero, someone who is just going to say the truth, not candy coated, and just give us the information. And we never got that. And what has Rauner said about it? The July of 2016, he said, we're really on top of the situation. This is a year after Eugene Miller's death, and then many more people getting sick and dying. We're really on top of the situation. That's Rauner in July of 2016.
Yeah, so on top of it that myself and my wife will stay there for a week. Drink the water, take hot showers.
Which was the end of January, beginning of February.
Right.
And,
no, end of just, right.
Yeah.
First week in January, I thought.
And then
now there's 4 more cases.
Yeah. And before the Crain's editorial board, what would you have done differently in handling the Quincy Veterans Home? Mm-hmm. Nothing. We handled it exceptionally well. That's what Governor Rauner said. Nothing. 13 people are dead and people are still getting sick. Nothing has been done other than PR stunts, and you wouldn't do anything different. This is just, it's remarkable to me. It's remarkable to me. And I'd love to hear, the political spin from Camp Rauner and from the Rauner Republicans who want to destroy the party from within, who want to purge conservatives, who apparently want to purge competency. He was the guy with the business skills who's going to shake things up and make sure that the state abided its responsibilities.
But he knows that Legionella cannot be eradicated from the water supply there at the Quincy home. The Department of Health has released their investigation, and still it remains open. I don't know how he could sleep at night.
Lies on national TV to Brett Baer about his willingness to meet with families who have been victimized by persons here illegally, the McCann family, Eric Brady's family. He lies to the entire state about what they're doing and not doing at the Veterans Home in Quincy, and now BEZ's unearthed the emails to prove it. He lies to Cardinal Cupich about his willingness to veto taxpayer funding of abortion if the legislation got to his desk and said he signs it.
And don't forget, he lied when he told me that his grandfather was born in Sweden.
Well, I mean, it's just, he even lied. You know, my grandfather came to this country as an immigrant from Wisconsin.
The province, Västmanland province of Wisconsin.
He lies about everything, which is why there's an op-ed in the Washington Examiner yesterday by Matt Lamb, who's the comm director for Students for Life America. I voted for Bruce Rauner in 2014, thinking he would be short of moving, the closest I would get to having Scott Walker as my governor. Instead, I just ended up with Bruce Rauner, Pat Quinn light. Well, I that's a bit of an insult to Pat Quinn, because Pat Quinn properly represented who he is, big government Democrat hack. The betrayals of Bruce Rauner are worse, at least if you're a Republican, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
Aren't they?
Don't you think Governor Rauner out-liberaled Pat Quinn?
He did. Well, he did things that Democrats, when Pat Quinn was governor and they had supermajorities in the General Assembly, didn't do.
Right.
They didn't move taxpayer funding of abortion when they had complete control of the executive and legislative branch. They didn't move sanctuary state. They didn't move trans birth certificates. This was all Rauner. They didn't move a $17 billion bailout of CPS pensions. This is Rauner and some surrender Republicans who want to continue to be the leadership of the Republican Party. And it's up to Republican primary voters to make that decision. This state is barbaric. I've said it before in the context of how politicians lie about their concerns for making sure persons with disabilities are properly provided the services we all believe they should get because they need them through no fault of their own. Oh, that's who I'm there to serve, blah, 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 and we're the worst in the nation in providing those services. And what do we do to veterans and their families? And then everybody runs to do the cover-up. Everybody runs to do the spin. Everybody blame shifts because nobody's in charge except Mike Madigan. No, actually, there are other people in charge, and there are other people who could have done something. And they didn't. Every step of the way, and it continues 2.5 years in. Margot in Burr Ridge, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, Legionella is it's not communicable disease. It's generated by your environment, and there's only one antibiotic that works on it. So my husband had it last summer, and because it's pretty rare, they were tested for everything else. He was at death's door for like 4 days, and then they finally tested for Legionella, and when they gave him this one specific antibiotic, and he was out of the hospital in 24 hours after being at death's door for 4 days, telling us he was maybe going to die. So because it's rare, they didn't test for it for 4 days. But in this case, they know that this environment is producing this. This should be the first thing they look for, and they should be giving them an antibiotic right away, that one specific antibiotic. They need to look at the staff. Whoever's in charge of the medical staff there, because they're just being they're being ridiculous not to think of Legionella first when they see these symptoms.
Thanks for the call, Margot. I want to read you this email I read before when we previously discussed this case, but this is a friend of mine's whose mom was an RN at this facility. She passed away in December of 2015. She worked there for 15 years. She said the media reports of Legionnaires being diagnosed in July of 2015 at the vet's home are wrong. The first visible signs of the disease were present at the end of May 2015. My mom had brought this up to the doctor and nurse practitioner at the vet's home. Both said it wasn't Legionnaires. No tests were taken. In June 2015, the home started their treatment of Legionnaires. The home had yet to actually test or confirm that any patient had the disease. It only came out in July of 2015 that the home had an outbreak when one of the residents had to go to the local hospital, and the doctor tested the patient at the local hospital and found that he had Legionnaires. And this now runs you into the timeline with Tim Miller's dad, Eugene. Even then, the home tried to say that the resident had picked it up at the hospital, not at the home. There was only one confirmed case of Legionnaires at the time in the whole hospital, and it was the vet's home resident. There were many other residents at the home that showed signs of having Legionnaires. My mom confronted the doctor and the nurse practitioner, told them they had to admit all the residents to the hospital that were showing symptoms of Legionnaires. Both said that the staff at the home can handle it. My mom said clearly the home cannot because we could have as many as 20 residents with Legionnaires, and we aren't treating them, and we haven't isolated them. People will die. She was ignored. She confronted the vet's home administrators. Again, they denied they had a problem. Once the home finally admitted the problem on their hands, it was too late. The various union reps at the home were more concerned about the health and well-being of the staff than they were about the residents with Legionnaires. Again, this irritated my mom to no end, so much so that in October 2015, she had planned how she could retire in 2016 so that she could be done with the home. She was her RN who saw her career as a vocation. Probably 70-80% of the staff at the vet's home around the state see their job as nothing more than a job. Whenever people asked her about working at the vet's home, she would say it was honor to care for the men in their final years of life that sacrificed so much for the freedoms we enjoy. Now, without commenting on the other staff, the timeline that she provides and the interaction with staff there certainly is an issue. But once you have this outbreak and it's confirmed and you have people getting sick and dying, 2.5 years, and we're in the same fracking place. What in God's name? David and McCook.
Hey, good morning, guys. I wanted to make a comment. First of all, my father is an 87-year-old Korean War vet. Most of these guys down there are elderly. They all served our country. If this was a facility that housed illegal immigrants, Dickie Durbin and Nancy Pelosi would have had it closed after the very first case.
And Bruce Rauner.
Disease. Yeah.
Thanks for the call, David. John in Palatine.
Hey, Dan, something you said this morning really struck me, and that is Durkin and Rauner seemingly wanting to purge the party of all the conservatives. And I thought, you're exactly right, which scares the heck out of me. But what I was thinking maybe all of the conservatives in the party are standing by Jeannie, and I think it would be cool if maybe she held a rally or a party. We'd all go down on a bus to Quincy and shine a light on this Legionnaires problem, help Jeannie, help the veterans, and help the conservatives.
Okay. All right. Thanks, John. Well, hopefully she's listening and she'll take that under advisement. By the way, Ives put out a book on Bruce Rauner.
The governor you don't know?
Yeah, a little book that people should be receiving in their mailboxes. I know people have been receiving them. I've seen the news reports on them. The governor you don't know. See? A little 9-chapter book on Governor Rauner with a foreword by Tom Morrison, who's a state rep from Palatine. That gives you chapter and verse on Rauner's 3 years, what he said versus what he's done, that people can read. You can't say you didn't have the opportunity to be informed. You got that book in the mail, and I'm sure that there'll be more distributed in the remaining 3 weeks of the campaign.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This is a story that continues to dog the Rauner administration.
Dolores French was one of 12 residents to die after contracting Legionella bacteria. Their son, Steve French, heard news of a Legionnaire's disease outbreak and called.
At that time, she was already dead.
Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner said, "We're really on top of the situation." Last fall, 3 more residents tested positive for the bacteria. A Korean War veteran died.
We've handled it exceptionally well, and we would not do anything different.
Jeannie Ives stands with our veterans. She always has. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor. Only one candidate for governor consistently fights for Illinois taxpayers.
Our economy is too weak for a tax hike, and you know it. You know we need jobs. You complain about it all the time, and you won't fix our job creation problems.
That's why the tax watchdog group Tax Accountability endorsed Jeannie Ives over Bruce Rauner and made her the first state representative to earn a perfect score from the group. Jeannie Ives, the consistent conservative for Illinois governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had this crazy thing happen with my eyesight. I went back to get my contact lenses done, and my optometrist, and I'm 46, he said, "This is really weird, but your eyesight is better." I'm like, I can't believe it, but I think it's these vitamins I'm taking.
I'm a huge believer in the product. I've tried lots of stuff, and this is the only real thing that I've ever, because of all these comparisons with all the other stuff I've had, this is by far the best thing, and consistently.
We're so healthy now on the Balance of Nature. There's no words to say how well it works.
Doing good on it, really. I'm feeling my skin is softer, and I feel good.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Old Man Winter is here, and you'll need a heating and cooling company you know you can depend on. Look no further. That company is the original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling. They're not one of those massive impersonal companies with inexperienced technicians and subcontractors. Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling sends only their own highly skilled technicians. From service to installation and everything in between, their work quality and customer service is the best. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling keeps homes and businesses comfy and warm. Call Carrie at 847-545-1700 or visit arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. Mention AM 560 and receive 20% off your first service call. That's Carrie at 847-545-1700 or online at arlingtonheightsheatingandcooling.com. The original Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, not the biggest, just the best.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to Suzanne Venker, cultural critic, author of The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage, about the common trait that so many of the mass shooters share, and this part of the discussion in terms of increasing the peace in schools and elsewhere. That's at 8:08.
And later, why a man who adopted a potbelly pig is now getting death threats. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
New documents filed by federal prosecutors detail allegations of misconduct against Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown. The Illinois House approves a gun control bill but fails to send most of their proposals to the governor. Illinois loses in their Big Ten tournament opener and a cloudy and rainy day ahead. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
It can't be shot down. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Russia's president is boasting about, a new missile in his arsenal amid all the worry about hacking and meddling. Fox's Simon Owen, live in our European bureau.
Dave, 2 weeks before a presidential election in Russia, Vladimir Putin revealing details of a range of new nuclear weapons, which he says can't be intercepted. Speaking to Russia's parliament in his annual State of the Nation speech, Putin saying the weapons include a nuclear-powered cruise missile, which he said could reach anywhere in the world. He claims it renders NATO's US-led missile defences useless. Putin saying, no one has listened to us. You listen to us now. Dave.
Simon, President Trump will have another meeting on school safety this morning.
We must harden our schools against attack.
At a meeting of 17 lawmakers from both parties yesterday, the president also said in a discussion about new gun laws, they're afraid of the NRA.
They have great power over you people. They have less power over me.
Republican Senator Pat Toomey said he stood up to the NRA, pushing for stronger background checks, but he's not sold on proposals to raise the age limit for buying rifles from 18 to 21.
I'm reluctant to say that whole category of Americans has to lose their Second Amendment right.
Walmart's joined Dick's Sporting Goods saying it'll no longer sell any guns to anyone under 21. President Trump will soon have no hope. His communications director's leaving. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
There's still shock among staffers in the West Wing that Hope Hicks will leave the White House in the next few weeks. Counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway.
She has a wonderful future, and we're all excited to see. I love her, and I'll miss her very much because she is the kind of person, as General Kelly said, is wise beyond her years.
Hicks began working for the president before he announced his candidacy and has been a trusted advisor for 3 years, shaping his image, managing his moods, and counseling him on nearly all matters. Dave?
This is Fox News. Fair and balanced. Skies are cloudy, rain showers, 40 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. New documents filed by federal prosecutors are detailing more allegations of misconduct against Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown, an employee telling investigators that the going rate to buy a job in the clerk's office was $10,000. That bribe was apparently paid to another staff worker who served as Brown's personal bagman. Brown has been the target of an ongoing corruption investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Mayor Emanuel playing down opposition by American Airlines to his $8.5 billion plan to overhaul O'Hare. AM 560's David Stewart was with the mayor yesterday.
American Airlines says it can't support the plan because it favors rival United Airlines. Mayor Emanuel says his plan will allow all airlines to compete and will give the city greater control over its most valuable asset without seeking permission from O'Hare's two big tenants.
That's not going to be the case here anymore. There's a whole level set of agreements that allow us to make investments that we do not have to ask Mother May I all the time.
American accuses Emanuel of making a secret deal to give rival United 5 additional gates. But United says that was just to make up for the 5 gates American had been given earlier. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Chicago sports. Bears will part ways with quarterback Mike Glennon. Bears will also plan to release linebacker Willie Young when the new league year begins on March 14. Big Ten hoops tournament action in New York City. The Fighting Illini lost to Iowa. Northwestern will tackle Penn State tonight in a second-round matchup. We'll watch the Missouri Valley Conference tournament closely. First-round action gets underway at the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis tonight. The News is a service of Lowe's. Get an extra 5% off purchases every day at Lowe's on items big or small when you use your Lowe's Advantage card. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Subject to credit approval and can't be combined with any other credit offer. Exclusions apply. See store for details. U.S. only. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro, here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, more people are shopping at Kohl's. The retail chain's sales and earnings were stronger than expected in the recent quarter. Kohl's is also raising its dividend. Kohl's is now saying this will be a better year than it first predicted. Best Buy's mobile phone stores are closing by the end of May. There are 250 of the small stores. The company opened them starting in 2011 when more people were buying their phones from third parties. Now the phones are sold by wireless carriers and online. No big box Best Buy stores are closing. You'll pay more for beer, wine, and cocktails on Southwest. The airline known for the $5 happy hour will be charging $1 or $2 more per drink. Southwest is charging $6 for most beers. Liquor will cost $7. The Dow lost 380 points yesterday. NASDAQ down 57. S&P dropped 30. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:05, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If your to-do list is long, but you're short on time, get the amazing Tackle app. For house cleaning, yard work, hanging TVs, washing windows, or hauling off junk, Tackle can save the day. The concept is simple. Tackle connects you with background check providers who can help with simple chores. The Tackle app has hundreds of pre-priced chores. If you have a unique chore, there's a cool custom job feature. Download the Tackle app today and get $50 off your first job. That's TAKL. Get your to-do list done with Tackle.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Daryl has hired with Indeed.
Nothing has been this simple, this easy, and this effective.
Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Latoria Brothers Construction Company is a proud sponsor of AM 560 and Food for the Poor. Turn to Latoria Brothers Construction Company for all your commercial, industrial, or retail construction needs. New construction, renovations, interior remodeling, facility expansions, and tenant owner build-outs. Latoria Brothers Construction Company has you covered from start to finish. From design concept through construction completion, Latoria Brothers offers a single-source proactive approach. Their family has been providing a high level of excellence in service, reliability, and experience since 1948. Latoria Brothers. They'll modify services to accommodate your construction needs no matter what size and scope. Consulting, design, build, construction management, general contracting. Achieve your vision and dream for your facility. Save time and money. Make Latoria Brothers part of your construction team. Quality workmanship on time, on budget. Visit LatoriaConstruction.com or call 630-766-3036. Latoria Brothers. Shaking hands, not fists.
As a business owner, you have hundreds of decisions to make on a daily basis. It's beyond needing to pay bills, keeping employees happy, or what the next step is to grow your business. Part of your stress can be making sure you're protected in a time of crisis. Can you trust that your insurance provider is going to be there when you need them most? When you're looking for a partner who's there for you in your most desperate times, call Insure with Us. You won't have to wait on hold to talk to an agent who's unfamiliar with your policy. Speak directly to who wrote your policy when you have any urgent question or need. Don't hesitate. Get it done today. Get a free quote in less than 24 hours at lowcostinsurance.biz. Choose from dozens of top insurers across the U.S. Insure with Us focuses on finding you the best coverage for your business and for your family. Visit them today at lowcostinsurance.biz. Insure with Us. Coverage for the things that matter most.
It is 8:08. The news, a service of Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. It only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save. In our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Slow going at the Rain. Southbound 53, bumper to bumper, Rand to Kirchhoff. Northbound Algonquin to Kirchhoff. The Edens is 23 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 44. Kennedy inbound delay started Foster. An hour and 25 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. An hour from Montrose. 48 minutes to the Express. Outbound 55 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 22 minutes, 390 to downtown. 58 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound an hour, 13 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and a half, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 48 minutes. Ryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 35 minutes. I-80 to the Merge. Bishop Ford, an hour and 6 minutes. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, a mess, 40 minutes. Hollywood to Monroe. Tri-States low southbound 120 to 176. Northbound Cicero to 31st. And from the Reagan-Tillman to the Grand Avenue Curve. Reagan-Tillman jammed. Randall to 53 and Highland at the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial, Boughton most of the way to Roosevelt and North Avenue to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Periods of rain mixing with snow today. Breezy with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, high 42. Then tonight becoming partly cloudy, low 30. Tomorrow mostly sunny, high 44. And a clear night, low 28. Full day of sunshine for Saturday with a high 45. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
38 and rain at O'Hare. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Tasty Catering. Stop by and try their food before planning your awesome corporate event menu. TastyCatering.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Amy, you want to play a little game of Who Said That?
Sure.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
There's no more important ingredient for success. Nothing that would be more important for us reducing violence than strong, stable families, which means we should do more to promote marriage and encourage fatherhood. Who said that?
Dan Proft.
I read that. I didn't say it. That's not the same thing.
William F. Buckley Jr.
No. This is going to take forever, isn't it?
Dolce and Gabbana.
Dolce and Gabbana, not Dolce and Gabbana. Although I'm sure they would have said something similar. And for those of you who are not listening early, Amy just introduced to the concept of Dolce and Gabbana this morning.
I had no idea it existed.
The only woman in Lakeview, and frankly in the Chicago metropolitan area, who's never heard of Dolce and Gabbana.
I know what Gucci is. Suzanne Vanker.
Suzanne Vanker, it sounds like something Suzanne Vanker would say, but it was actually a certain president of the United States named Barack Obama.
Oh.
In February of 2013, actually in a speech in Chicago. And it's a perfect segue to Suzanne Vanker because of a piece that she recently wrote for Fox News. So let's talk to her about that. Suzanne Vanker, cultural critic and author of the book, The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage, How Love Works. Suzanne, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I think that might be the only time I'll be aligned with Obama.
Yeah, well, me too. Exactly. That's why it's so jarring and so interesting, right? Because
I know.
Your piece this week about a common characteristic among 26 of the 27 worst mass shooters in American history.
Right, is that they are fatherless. And this is an epidemic in the country, and we do not discuss it in any length whatsoever, and we certainly rarely associate it with things like, shootings, mass shootings. Although there is a clear parallel, and if you look at the stats, especially all sort of compiled in one or two the paper, which I did recently, and I found. The history of the family background of all these different shooters, it's just glaring. And the only way to address this problem, well, although I'm certainly in favor of all the tactics in terms of what to do about it, with the schools, but in terms of understanding the root of it, that's a different question, and it's a harder one to talk about.
Well, how have people reacted to this article that you wrote?
So I wrote two, and the first one was called The Desperate Cry of America's Boys, and I was flooded. Just flooded with emails, from 80%, I'd say, from men, obviously, but certainly some women as well. And so, one of the emailers asked a question about who I consider is the root of fatherlessness. And so, rather than answer him in an email, I just wrote a follow-up a follow-up article for Fox that got to the root of family breakdown, fatherlessness, and divorce, and single motherhood, and all that stuff that, is hard to talk about, but is the reality of how we got to such a fatherless nation.
Well, what's your take on some of the root causes of fatherlessness? I mean, you've got people across the spectrum saying the same thing, father matters, but then they pursue policies that suggest a father doesn't matter.
Right. So so effectively, your clearly best system to keep such things at bay is the intact family. There's just no question about it. When a father is in a child's life, he has the capacity to mold and teach him how to be a man and how to be a good man and how to channel his masculinity in a proper fashion. So I'm sure you've heard a lot about, the attack on masculinity as a result of all this. And that's just a ridiculous, response to this. Yes, masculinity can go awry just as femininity can as well. But the reality is, if it's channeled properly, it does wonders. It does great things. So when you have a nation of boys who have no model because they're growing up in such female-dominated spaces, whether it's the home or schools, then they are at a loss, in effect. And we are leading them to kind of figure things out for their own, and they're not doing such a good job.
This is what Dr. Leonard Sachs says. What does it mean to be a man is the question that we should be asking ourselves, and then helping young men and boys answer it, and we're not doing that.
Right, exactly. So in that second piece, I was arguing, I was talking about my own son. I have a daughter and a son, and I simply cannot fathom, who he'd be or what it would be like if his dad were not in his life. And you see that up close. I think when you have boys, it really affects you as a mom or dad in a way that, it doesn't for people who are either single or just simply don't have boys. You almost have to just see it for yourself to see how significant that father involvement is. But when we're dealing with divorce, the vast majority of the time, children lose contact with their fathers, or at least any direct, ongoing, consistent
and sometimes
contact.
Some divorced mothers use an opportunity to, undermine their children's relationship with their father, and so that bothers
right.
me.
So that is a huge, in my opinion, underreported, underdiscussed reality, because it's, it doesn't sound pretty, and you're going to get a lot of backlash for that. But the reality is that's true. I saw it up close with my own family. My father was divorced from his first wife and had 4 kids, and then married my mom and had my sister and me. And then I saw how difficult it was for him to get the kids on the weekends, and the kinds of things that she would tell the kids, about my father, our father, which wasn't true. So I've seen it up close. It's very ugly. And, one of the things I'm involved in is an organization called Leading Women for Shared Parenting, which is a presumption of equal parenting, equal time, 50-50, upon a divorce. If there's been no sign of any, abuse or dangerous person, then rather than the automatic assumption going to mom, which is still going on today, it's an automatic presumption of 50-50, including overnights. So that's just an tangible example of something that has yet to be done, and I think actually it will in the future.
So in the policy space, obviously you had the president do one of his increasingly signature public roundtable discussions with the Congress beings about guns yesterday specifically, and talking about age restrictions and the like. To this issue of fatherlessness, is there a particular public policy that you think should be central to the public policy discussion that would address this aspect of the problem, this correlation between fatherlessness and destructive behavior in young men?
I'm in favor of any marriage incentives at all, policy-wise, but also what I just mentioned a moment ago. If we're dealing with a divorce and we know that circumstance isn't going to automatically result in a child, especially a son, losing contact with his father, that would go by itself just a long way toward keeping the father in the child's life. If by law it's on the books that you have to give them 50%, of that time.
What about welfare state policies as well that essentially finance the family and finance the father out of it in some cases?
Right. So that's when everything really went south. I mean, that's truly when it went south, because effectively what a welfare state does is it's replacing the father's role or the husband's role as the primary provider, the care financially of the family. And the minute you remove that and you replace it with the state, you've got a completely different system there. And you find men, they complain about the black family being so disintegrated and the fathers walk away. Well, that's because we've incentivized it for him to do that, right? If we hadn't done that, we'd have a different situation. In fact, black families were much more intact prior to the welfare state.
She is Suzanne Vanker. She's a cultural critic. She's author of the book, The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage, How Love Works. Also
Dan, that's good for you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
the
pick
last
that up.
line, how love works.
Pick that up. I reject the premise that it exists.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. And Suzanne Baker's also got a couple pieces on Fox News. She mentioned missing fathers and Americans' broken boys is a good one. Suzanne, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
So uptight, Seattle residents complained about an alleged Confederate flag. Turned out it was what country's flag? Don't exhibit. Let that simmer. But first, here's your forecast. Breezy, cooler, obviously rain. It's a gloomy first day of March, that's for sure. And this rain might turn into snow and slush later on this morning. A high today of 44 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 30. And tomorrow, Friday, mostly sunny, just a beautiful day, a high of 45 degrees. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Inbound Kennedy's jammed. Foster to the Bird Circle is an hour and 25 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, an hour from Montrose, 48 minutes to the Express. Outbound 55 minutes to the airport. Eden's 23 minutes to Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 44. Eisenhower, an hour and 22 minutes, 390 to downtown, 58 minutes from Manheim, outbound an hour 13 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and a half, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, an hour from the Tri-State, outbound 48 minutes, 355. Bryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, an hour and 6 minutes, 8094 to the Merge. Southbound Lakeshore Drive is rough. It's 40 minutes, Hollywood to Monroe, and northbound there's a big jam, Stevenson to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State delays 120 to 176, two-way to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, the big delays start at Cicero. Eastbound Reagan Tollway is a long jam. Randall to 53, and also Highland to Midwest. The other tollways are heavy too. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you own a business, you'll do everything you can to keep the lights on. The thing is, keeping those lights on can be much more cost-effective than you ever imagined. And Twin Supplies can help. Twin Supplies specializes in helping businesses, public entities, and nonprofits get energy efficient with their lighting and take advantage of incentives from utility companies to help with energy improvement costs. From restaurants to schools, churches, and stadiums, they'll walk you through every step to realize maximum money savings in energy efficiency. Your maintenance staff will spend less time changing bulbs with worry-free fixtures that feature up to a 10-year warranty. Plus, the quality of your lighting will improve, resulting in improved working conditions and safety. Find out how much your commercial business can save with a free energy audit from Twin Supplies. Utility companies change their incentives frequently and funds can run out. Now is the time to take action. Don't wait. Call 630-590-5138 or log on to twinsupplies.net and take charge of your business's energy efficiency. Twinsupplies.net.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. Period.
No, Mr. Obama, we can't. That was the 2013 PolitiFact lie of the year. In 2017, Blue Cross canceled 97% of their policies. Because your 2017 Blue Cross policy was canceled, you're still eligible to purchase a new plan under special enrollment until March 1st, even though Obamacare open enrollment has ended. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. Better yet, the Obamacare mandate will be repealed thanks to President Trump, so you'll no longer be fined by the IRS for purchasing lower-priced, short-term plans. There's no one better to help you navigate the Obamacare maze than C. Stephen Tucker. He's a 20-year licensed broker who I know and trust, who's been educating listeners for more than 6 years. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Jeannie Ives might be Mike Madigan's favorite Republican. The Madigan machine has bankrolled Ives with thousands of dollars in shady labor union cash, turning Jeannie Ives into another Mike Madigan lackey. Listen to Ives defend Madigan.
Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook. Now we're going to call Mike Madigan a crook.
Instead of attacking Madigan's corrupt ways like Bruce Rauner, Jeannie Ives defends Madigan.
He's picking on Mike Madigan again. He's picking on Mike Madigan again.
Ives won't even commit to immediate repeal of the Madigan income tax hike.
You need legislator approval to repeal that, obviously, so you'd have to have them decide to do that.
get to repeal it, right? I can't guarantee what the legislator is going to send me in a bill.
Jeannie Ives, guaranteed to defend and defer to Mike Madigan.
I don't think that's any way to deal with the powerful Speaker of the House, Mike Madigan.
Paid for by Citizens for Rauner, Inc.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was surprised at myself how much energy I had, and I'm doing 2 jobs, running around like a maniac, and I was able to handle it. Really, I'm like, wow, this stuff is really good. So, more than anything else, it just gave me the extra energy and the well-being, feeling of well-being that I don't think I would have without it.
Well, I take it every day, and I feel great. And my wife looks at me and says, how come you never get sick? And I do. It's because I take the fruits and veggies.
I just feel a lot better. My life is turning around. Everything is working for me.
It just helps me feel good. I just think the products are wonderful, and I take them every day. I just like it. It works.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Sean Hannity is right. IRS problems can be devastating. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here on this station every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. And I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. I know you want a local attorney you could look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So if you fear the IRS will take your money, bank account, wages, or visit your home or job, and now they can take your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good. Today, I have a special bonus. If you are one of the first 25 to call and hire me to solve your IRS problem, we will prepare your 2017 tax returns for free. Call me, attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649. Again, that's 312-664-6649. One more time, 312-664-6649. Or visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. Don't wait. Call me now and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
A leaky roof is not good for your home or business. Need repair?
Call Crumweedy.
Call Crumweedy to fix your roof or to book your new roof now so you're ready for the storms of the new year. And get a luxury vacation for 2, cruise or resort with a qualifying purchase.
Woohoo!
A great roof, siding, or windows, and a vacation.
This is Mark Olson
and Greg Olson of Crumweedy,
a third-generation family business.
We're conservative just like you.
The difference is installation.
Hey, we know that. That's why we follow the manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is totally intact.
A lot of companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options, then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
myroofisneedy.com. Hey, do it now.
Crumweedy. We fix roof problems.
Washington is full of career politicians. It's time we put everyday Americans back in charge of your government. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. My parents immigrated here with nothing in their pockets. They worked tirelessly to give me the American dream. Now, as a physician and successful entrepreneur, I'm running for Congress to bring real-world experience to Washington. I will heal our broken healthcare system, bring jobs back to the 10th District, and then term limit myself and get out of the way for the next citizen legislator. I knew it would be difficult taking on the entrenched politicians. The insiders have come after me with everything they've got, even lying to scare you from voting for the only outsider and the only candidate born right here in the 10th District. Here's the choice you have: more of the same or a new path. You can vote for politics as usual or for common sense and real-world experience. Republicans, the choice is yours. I'm Dr. Suppan Shah. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote so I can bring common sense back to Washington. Learn more at drshawforcongress.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
I like that Dr. Shaw guy, by the way. He's sharp.
I bet he wears D&G.
Dolce & Gabbana? I don't know. I have to ask. That's all you can think about now since you've just been first introduced to Dolce & Gabbana on this show this morning.
I think you guys should buy me a purse. It's only $3,927.
Yeah, we're going to have to take up a collection. There's no question.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
In studio, we've got Eli Steele, the son of the great Shelby Steele, but an accomplished documentarian in his own right. He's got a film, How Jack Became Black, about enrolling his child in the LA Unified School District, and they're doing a screening at New Trier High School next week. And we're going to talk to him about that film at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's 38 degrees, rain showers, a raw day ahead with northeast winds at 15 miles an hour. Russian President Vladimir Putin claims his country has developed an invincible new cruise missile that can reach anywhere in the world and is undetectable. Reporter Julia Lubaba says Putin seemed proud of that missile during a State of the Nation address that took place this morning.
He then went to show several videos of what he called the latest and most advanced weapons, which Putin said that Russia now has. And Putin said that those weapons are no less than no other nation has.
Putin also focused heavily on domestic issues, the address coming 17 days before an election that Putin is widely expected to win. President Trump wants Congress to pass a measure to protect schools from gun violence. In a tweet this morning, the president said many good ideas came out of yesterday's bipartisan meetings on the issue. There are new reports that Broward County Sheriff's deputies were ordered to initially stage outside and not enter the Florida high school and engage shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz. There are reports that a commanding officer on the scene apparently ordered some of the initial responders to stage and set up perimeters outside Stoneman Douglas High School. The White House is again looking for a new communications director after Hope Hicks stepped down. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders confirmed that move yesterday. New documents filed by federal prosecutors are now detailing more allegations of misconduct against Cook County Circuit Court Clerk Dorothy Brown, part of an ongoing corruption investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office. One woman is dead following a fire on Chicago's South Side. Authorities responded to that blaze last night in a third-floor apartment near 76th and Essex. There will be extra security patrolling Chicago's Loop beginning today. The Chicago Loop Alliance has hired 2 armed security guards to patrol State Street between Wacker Drive and Congress Parkway. They will be on duty Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays for 8 hours each day. Chicago sports, the Bears will part ways with quarterback Mike Glennon. That was expected. The Bears also plan to release linebacker Willie Young. College hoops, the Fighting Illini fell to Iowa in round 1 of the Big Ten tournament at Madison Square Garden. Meanwhile, Northwestern will take on Penn State tonight in a second-round matchup. The Blackhawks will battle San Jose, while the Cubs beat the A's in Cactus League play. The news service of Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Great news, there's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save. 8:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher needs the rhetoric dialed down.
The ongoing assault on the NRA, they don't have blood on their hands. They're not a terrorist organization. And until that kind of rhetoric and that kind of nonsense is eliminated, if you think you're going to make any progress on gun control, you're out of your mind.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Coming up on 8:35, let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. We're seeing delays all over, including northwest Indiana, 8094 westbound. Stop and go Burr to Kennedy. Illinois eastbound I-80 has delays from the Des Plaines River Bridge to Briggs. Edens from Lake Hook to Montrose, 21 minutes, but outbound 42. Kennedy, an hour and 20 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, an hour from Montrose, 50 minutes in the express. Outbound 53 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower's an hour and 26 minutes, 390 to downtown. An hour from Manheim, outbound an hour and 5 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 32 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 48 minutes. Ryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 35 minutes, 80 to the merge. Ford, an hour and 5 minutes. Big delays on the Tri-State southbound 120 to 176, a two-way to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound Cicero to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Adams Tollway slow 59 to Barrington, and two-way to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial, Fountain most to the West Roosevelt, and North Avenue to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A breezy, raw day ahead, and rain could mix with snow at times. High 44, becoming partly cloudy and 30 overnight. Right now, 38 and rain showers with northeast winds at 15 miles an hour. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. I don't want the government to do comprehensive anything. I'll explain that when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And we've talked about this film before, and we've talked to this filmmaker before. He's Eli Steele. He is the son of famed academic Shelby Steele, the author of such must-read books as White Guilt. Southside native. Shelby Steele grew up on the south side of the city. His son Eli is an accomplished documentarian and filmmaker in his own right, and his latest film, How Jack Became Black, is really gaining some steam and some attention, and so he's doing a series of screenings in Chicago. Tonight at DePaul, hosted by our friend of the show, Jason Hill, philosophy professor at DePaul, for his classes, also open to the public. That's at 6:45. Then Monday, it's going to be at New Trier, of all places. New Trier is actually going to... It's stunning.
It's open-minded of them.
It's
to allow this to happen.
It's a veritable Jackie Robinson moment. New Trier's Auditorium, Monday, March 5th. That's hosted by New Trier Neighbors, open to the public. Tickets available at Eventbrite.com. And then Tuesday, March 6th in Park Ridge at the Pickwick Theater in Park Ridge, hosted by Republicans of Maine Township at 7 o'clock. You can get all the information on all the screenings at howjackbecameblack.com. howjackbecameblack.com. And we welcome the filmmaker who produced How Jack Became Black, Eli Steele, who's also the father of Jack, the subject of the film. Eli, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So just to refresh our recollection, the story is you enrolling Jack in school in L.A., and then it kind of opens up this whole racial Pandora's box. Why don't you tell us what you found?
Yes, I'm multiracial. My father is, black and white, but back then, usually black. And today, I dealt with my identity, and it's usually easy to stay black and Jewish. But when my kids were born, they have this whole connection to Mexico. And it was like, okay, wow, like you have a really, you really are connected to all these, diverse history. And how are you going to make sense of that? How are you put yourself in one box? And so I was expecting LA to have a multiracial box or check all they apply, which I have my own issues with. But I was expecting that, but not in actual, primary race box. Like in the quotes, like you have to check that because that's going backwards. And So just having to do that really opened my eyes to why the government require this information. What do they want it for? And, people a lot of it, they were friendly, and that's true. But I think a lot of it also because of identity politics. That we are moving toward 100% racial identification of our entire population.
So the box problem for Jack, your son. So he's black, he's white, he's Jewish, he's Mexican,
and Native American.
So that's a lot of ground to cover, and
Absolutely.
and one box.
And he knows every one of them. He knows stories from these are not abstract things. He knows these people.
And one of the stats that was jarring to me in your film, I think if I'm remembering correctly, 13% of couples in America right now are multiracial.
So 17.
17? Right. So we're beyond segregation, except self-segregation in certain cultural institutions and on campuses and the like. But the bottom line is people are coming together, and that's sort of your point, is that we're becoming kind of a big multiracial population. So why are we doing this black, white, Hispanic, other kind of dichotomy that you have to select from for schooling or anything else?
That's the main question. Yeah. As we become more multiracial, why is there more pressure to reduce those in one race? And people say, well, do you want to eliminate the race party? And that's the trick question. My way of looking at it is the parties themselves are benign. They're just parties. The problem is the powers behind the party. And that's where we have to question, why do you want this information and what do you do with this information? And we become a culture where we blame every disparity between racial groups on race. And for me, I think it's time to question that, because when you blame things on race, it ignores the larger human context. We're all human beings. Most of our problems are on a human level than on a racial level, because we stay, like for example, in California, about 2 or 3 months ago, there was a headline that said 75% of black students in California are not on the grade reading level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody they hear black, and they go stop at that, and they go, oh, black, that's why. Oh, it's this. But if you were to say, 75% of the students are not on reading level for the grade, then the first question is, well, what's the problem? And so you already move past race to the larger problem. So a lot of times race actually blinds us. It's just race is power. And so that's why I think it's really detrimental to do that.
Yeah. Well, in Chicago, race does matter. Our kids don't go to your local high school. You try to get into one of 5 selective enrollment schools. And on the application, it helps if you are a minority. It helps if you're Hispanic or black or Native American. So that's why, and then some, people, look badly upon us because I'm white, but yet my kids are Hispanic, but I'm trying to give them every opportunity that is allotted to them. So in that case, checking the box isn't a bad thing. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, in your personal case, I know people, they have different opinions. One person said, look, if they're dumb enough to give me a preference based on my race, I'm going to take advantage of it and play the system. And we are trapped into this system. And, I'll blame people if you want. Because, look, it's your kids' education. If you get in there and you use your advantage. But I think things like affirmative action, or like even the New York Times came out with an article in August where they basically said the affirmative action, what that really means is racial preferences.
Yeah.
Failed to increase black enrollment. It failed to increase Hispanic over the whole course of.
Right.
So you're masking over a much more serious problem.
Not to mention what it's done, or I should point out, not done in terms of actual performance, which remember, that's the point. But in Amy's case, to be fair, she wants her boys to have more than she had. She doesn't want her boys to have to go to the University of Iowa. So, I mean, that's why, she wants a better life for them.
Yeah, right.
But just to that point, you had the same opportunity when you applied to UCLA. You could have checked a box, and you didn't. Why?
Because I think part of it is if you allow yourself to be defined by race, then it pushes you on a shiny path, and you kind of. I think on an existential level, I just did not want to be beholden to it. Because that's the story that I grew up with. Like my grandfather. My grandfather grew up in segregation, and he refused to allow segregation to define him as black. So I felt like it would be kind of a betrayal to all of a sudden identify myself as black. It doesn't mean that I'm against, justice or anything like that. I actually don't believe that race is the best way to remedy that, because race is just a very thin social construct. It just keeps you trapped in it somehow.
Well, and you make that point, and you make that point in your film in no uncertain terms. You describe identity politics as we see it playing out in college campuses, but also in corporate boardrooms everywhere today. I mean, it's pernicious, and it spreads like a virus. You suggest that identity politics is the new Jim Crow.
Well, there's a new racial order.
Okay.
Because Jim Crow, I mean, I wouldn't say that identity politics has the brutality of white supremacy, but it's a racial order. It organizes that by race. Things like racial equity, intersectionality, white privilege are all tools to organize that by race. And, like minorities will always say, yeah, we understand the element of truth in white privilege. We in my family would joke around like we would get frustrated with the white people. That's just a thing like in the black community. But when we did that, it was more bend. It was more of a racial bend, but we never took the step of racializing ourselves. That's the difference with white privilege. If I want to believe in it and want you to go into that viewpoint, the social construct, then I have to racialize myself. And once I do that, I become basically a slave to that social construct. I have to view the whole world, and it's a very limited view. And ultimately, it's not going to do anything for me.
So tell us what else. You have a daughter as well.
Yes.
In addition to
June,
that.
yeah, we can't leave her out.
Right, exactly. And so where are they in school?
June is now in second grade, and Jackie is now in fourth grade.
And did you
they're
ever
doing good.
check
They got
the
good
box?
report cards yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. Straight A's, I hope.
I was the A minus to the kid.
Okay.
Maybe Grandpa Shelby can help them with some of their homework. Maybe you got a little intellectual firepower in the family at your disposal.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the documentary. I haven't seen it yet, but do you have to check a box?
Yeah, and I do that. I do that in the beginning. That's a big question because I even like I said earlier with the multiracial or check all they apply. The federal government basically brought back, well, they never really dropped it, but they brought back the one-drop rule. So if you check those boxes, you're going to end up back in the minority box. Oh. So even multiracials are not even allowed to fully identify as what they want. It's an illusion. So if you can check white and Mexican or Hispanic, Puerto Rican, he's going to end up in the Hispanic box. So he's not going to be white anymore, because that's what the government wants. And obviously for the resources and stuff like that. And so that's why it's all kind of a sham in a way. I mean, and where does it end?
Well, and the other thing too, and going back to your film, that's interesting is, and I want to make this point. Just the civil rights movement wasn't Republicans versus Democrats. It wasn't like a party line distribution. Neither is this. That you interview in the documentary a number of other multiracial children I don't know what their political persuasion is. It seems like some of them are not exactly card-carrying Republicans or Trump voters, but they essentially come to the same conclusion, maybe not philosophically the way that you, from the same philosophical premise that you start from, but they essentially came to the same conclusion. Yeah, this like trying to categorize me, force me into a box that into which I don't fit. I don't like it. Why do we have to do that? They're questioning this construct, and so it's something that is kind of post-partisan in terms of our discussion.
Absolutely. I think my argument is that W.E. Du Bois, the color line would be the battle for the 20th century. I think identity politics is the new battle line, and you can find liberals and conservatives on one side, and the same people on the other side. So it just depends if you believe the identity politics is the race to a better America or not.
He is Eli Steele. He's a documentarian filmmaker. The film is How Jack Became Black. There's a number of screenings. DePaul tonight, New Trier High School on Monday, Pickwick Theater in Park Ridge on Tuesday. You can get all of the details on those screenings, and there'll be discussions after each of the screenings. HowJackBecameBlack.com, HowJackBecameBlack.com. Eli Steele, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
With so many homeowners fearful of poor service and not knowing who to trust, home remodeling is often delayed. But do you ever wonder why so many remodeling experiences go so wrong? Advanced Design Studio thinks remodeling shouldn't be so painful. Will the project stay on budget and be done on time? If you're nervous about home remodeling, you're not alone. Whether you're contemplating a new kitchen or bath, want an addition to your home, or in need of a whole house transformation, Advanced Design Studio is the company to call. They understand your fears and know how to overcome them. Backed by 25 years of producing positive remodeling experiences, Advanced Design's client service process, called Common Sense Remodeling, averts remodeling project delays, budget overruns, and produces a rewarding remodeling experience. Make this the year you overcome your fears and remodel your home, bath, or kitchen. Don't be a bad remodeling story. Use common sense and visit AdvancedDesignStudio.com for more information or call 847-836-2600.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for upstream-ideas.com. Guns have no moral agency. Predators hurt and kill people. Often they use a gun. Good guys protect people. Often they use a gun. When a predator kills with a gun, he is rightly called a monster. When a good guy with a gun fails to protect people, he's rightly called a coward. The very nature of the way we discuss an atrocity like the Parkland school shooting conveys our understanding that it's bad guys and good guys who are responsible for what they do, and not the instrumentality they use in their conduct. So arguing that the response to the deadly success of the shooter and the failure of the deputy sheriff is to reduce the number of good guys and their instrumentality choices does not logically follow from the accepted premise. And neither does the failure of state agencies locally and federally to exercise the power they currently possess make the case for expanding their power at the expense of our rights. No amount of emergency planning or algorithmic modeling or government power can replace the variety of human judgment calls that will be thrust upon a free people. The question then isn't what's in my holster, it's what's in my head and my heart. Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships, and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you own a business, you'll do everything you can to keep the lights on. The thing is, keeping those lights on can be much more cost-effective than you ever imagined. And Twin Supplies can help. Twin Supplies specializes in helping businesses, public entities, and nonprofits get energy efficient with their lighting and take advantage of incentives from utility companies to help with energy improvement costs. From restaurants to schools, churches, and stadiums, they'll walk you through every step to realize maximum money savings and energy efficiency. Your maintenance staff will spend less time changing bulbs with worry-free fixtures that feature up to a 10-year warranty. Plus, the quality of your lighting will improve, resulting in improved working conditions and safety. Find out how much your commercial business can save with a free energy audit from Twin Supplies. Utility companies change their incentives frequently and funds can run out. Now is the time to take action. Don't wait. Call 630-590-5138 or log on to twinsupplies.net and take charge of your business's energy efficiency. twinsupplies.net. The following is a paid political announcement.
This is a story that continues to dog the Rauner administration.
Dolores French was one of 12 residents to die after contracting Legionella bacteria. Their son, Steve French, heard news of a Legionnaire's disease outbreak and called.
At that time, she was already dead.
Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner said, "We're really on top of the situation." Last fall, 3 more residents tested positive for the bacteria. A Korean War veteran died.
We've handled it exceptionally well, and we would not do anything different.
Jeannie Ives stands with our veterans. She always has. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor. Only one candidate for governor consistently fights for Illinois taxpayers.
Our economy is too weak for a tax hike, and you know it. You know we need jobs, you complain about it all the time, and you won't fix our job creation problems.
That's why the tax watchdog group Tax Accountability endorsed Jeannie Ives over Bruce Rauner and made her the first state representative to earn a perfect score from the group. Jeannie Ives, the consistent conservative for Illinois governor. Paid for by Eyes for Illinois Governor.
Abilify, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, Rexulti. These drugs are commonly prescribed for depression treatment. 2018 can be the year you win the war on depression.
New year, new you.
Drugs for depression can be dangerous, have side effects, and really just mask the problem. TMS therapy treats the source of your depression. Cure or remission is here. HBR centers are proud to bring TMS therapy to Chicagoland and Milwaukee. Millions have been treated, and the results outstanding.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive.
How does it work? TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate mood centers, causing long-term medication-free relief. It's FDA cleared and covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. Make the call. Ask questions. Bring an end to your depression. HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
It's tax season. Are you prepared? Do you need help? It's time to call your trusted tax advisor, Timothy C. Wolf, who's a CPA with over 35 years experience in tax planning and preparation. Tim is knowledgeable about the current as well as the new 2018 tax legislation. Tim will complete your return while you wait, where possible, or in as little as 48 hours. And he'll have your tax return electronically filed with any refund being directly deposited to your account. As a Food for the Poor business benefactor, Tim challenges new and existing clients to contribute to Food for the Poor with any new client contributions matched up to $50. Call 847-818-0400 to schedule an appointment. All new clients will receive a 20% discount off their 2017 tax preparation fees, as well as a free review of your past 3 tax returns. 1 in 3 reviews have resulted in refunds up to $50,000. Now is the time to call or text Tim at 847-818-0400 1-800 to schedule your appointment or go to timwolfcpa.com to find out more.
AM 560, The Answer.
Thank you so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, Quinn McCarthy, and of course our executive producer, Keith Conrad.
And remember those showtime screening times for How Jack Became Black. You can get them all at howjackbecameblack.com. The details are there, starting with DePaul tonight.
Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 5 a.m. Now let's go into the newsroom with news here at home and around the world. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, here are the stories we're following. One woman found dead after her apartment caught fire on the south side. American Airlines is opposing O'Hare expansion. We'll tell you why. The Bears to release quarterback Mike Glennon, and a raw, breezy, and rainy day ahead.